good?
Good.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
We're the brothers from the Gmsatlanta camp. I want to start off by giving all glory and infinite praises unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rechakodash.
Them understand our apostles and the elders of Great Millstone and teaching that we're well. Salutations unto the Akim throughout the four corners that are putting their life on the line. We can't even got salutations to the very few women and children that subscribe to this truth and faith and sincerity. All church and subjection. That's King Shalom. And with that, man, we're just gonna go into prophecies, give the understanding of the times. Because what we have, the biggest event, the biggest news as it should be, is what's going on over there in Israel between Israel and Hamas, man. The bombing of Hamas, and now you have the Israeli state basically trying to gather what's the word? People, sympathizers, trying to gather sympathizers. Heap unto them sympathizers so they can be justified in the public's opinions that the killing of innocent Palestinians, hey, that is righteous, man. Even though we know through the spirit, those Palestinians are not innocent because the land neither belongs to the Palestinians nor does it belong to the so-called Israelis, man. It belongs to the Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and Seminole Indians. It belongs unto you. That's when you look at it, when you look at the logic of Esau, why is it that they fighting over something that doesn't exist? That isn't true. We're supposed to trust the science. Why are you fighting over make-believe Holy Land? You see, this has to be it, man. But let's go ahead and get to it, man.
All right. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
So the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. Why did the Lord say that? Because he said that he was going to bring our people into slavery. That's the theme of the Bible, constantly, over and over. The Lord likes to reiterate, likes to refresh. Anytime you go against the Lord, he's gonna what? He's gonna bring natural disasters. He'll bring death and pestilence. He'll bring teeth of wild beasts against you. But his ultimate judgment against our people, so they know that this is of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, he throws you into slavery, man. Because he constantly spake to how he would destroy our people through slavery. So he's speaking unto the Israelites. Continue.
Continuing on. And will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land.
So he will yet choose Israel after all of this, the destruction the Lord has done unto our people, with all of the bywords, the proverbs, and all the ill sayings that have been attached, and it has a negative connotation that deals with Negroes. The Lord said, "Hey man, I'm gonna bring that back. I'm gonna stop all of that." He said, "I will yet choose you, though the world hates you." And the world thinks that I hate you, even though the perception of the Bible is that I hated you so bad that I decided to deal with the whole world. No, I will yet choose you, though I judged you, though I whooped that ass. Hey, you still my son, man. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not gonna get rid of you, my seed, bro. I just want to see you prosper. And therefore, hey, I had to put the belt to you. All right, so the Lord is talking about taking that belt away from us.
Yep, because if I can say too, just look at why we're in the position that we're in, why we're in the situation that we're in, because we broke the covenant of the Heavenly Father.
Beautiful.
That's why you see that these curses came upon our people. That's why you see that our enemies are currently ruling over us, man, because we went off, man. We are the only nation that were given the law, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
I'll continue on. Well, it says, and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
And that stranger is talking about
Israelite
still.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the water. Israelite foreigners, man. You know those jakes that spiritually going off after this place, man. Going off. Here it is. He lives in Zimbabwe, or he lives in Pakistan, or he lives in Nepal, but he wants to act like a nigga from America. That's who he talking to. You got it.
Continuing on. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
Yeah, the people shall take them. So now we're speaking unto another group of people. Who is that people? And that's the Israelites, the elect, the 144,000. The elect, the creme de la creme of the Israelites, man. The Lord's chosen. All right, it's gonna take them. Who? The elite, the elite of Esau. It's gonna take them and what?
It says, and bring them to their place.
Bring them where? To their place. What is our place? Israel. It has to be Israel because these people that's in the land of Israel now, they can't be the people because it's war.
Yeah.
It's war. It says the king, where I need to see King David, and I need to see no more war. I shouldn't see a gun. I shouldn't see a sword. I shouldn't see a missile. I shouldn't see these things. When the Lord sets the true Israelites back in their place, it will be no such thing. We should learn war no more.
Oh, I got that precept for you real quick.
You got it,
Point at the bottom. This is Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation.
See, nation shall not rise up against nation.
Neither shall they learn war anymore.
See, neither shall they learn war anymore. Do we not see nation? There's wars and rumors of war.
Yeah.
Nations is coming against nations. What was the Nord Stream pipeline about? What is this big coup that's happened over there in Niger, Africa? What is that about? Those are war. Those are people gearing up, preparing themselves for war, man.
That's right.
They're beating their plowshares into what? Spears. The Lord said, you're gonna take that spear and you're gonna make it a what? A hoe again. You're gonna make it a shovel. You're gonna make it a rake. All right? Yeah.
Yeah, I reread it. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
Right.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
It says that we shall possess Esau in the the modern day land of Israel. Now, in the kingdom of heaven, we shall have that land back in our possession. But this time, we shall have a new chain, a new commodity, something new that we haven't had in such a long while, man. And that's what? A Hebrew Edomite slave, man, in our possession. We're in his possession right now. This is the coming judgment. This is a futurality that's being spoken of here, man. And Esau know that it's slowly coming together. He doesn't need this to happen. He doesn't want this to happen. Do you mean to tell me I did all of this work just for all the power to be translated back over to these Negroes, for them to put me into slavery? Yes, man. And he's hidden the understanding from you, and now he's trying to offset prophecy. But hey, we can do nothing against it but for it. So continue.
Continuing on, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
Who captives they were. So we were captives of Esau here in this land, man. Here it is. We was over. Let him tell it. We was over there swinging from trees and ropes, butt booty naked, happy as can be, frolic, man, free. Let him tell it. Either we were doing that, or we were actually in sophisticated civilizations warring against one another. Yeah. Either way you want to spin it. We were minding our own damn business, and you came over here and you interrupted something. You stole a man. You brought him to another land and you subjugated that man. And here it is when you had no
jurisdiction.
Say what you said.
They had no jurisdiction.
Yeah, you can break it. Go into.
No, I mean I'm just adding to what you're saying because you got to put your camera.
Yeah.
But you're right because see, they'll talk about Gad and Reuben was over here warring with each other and savages, but nobody ever talks about what's the four generals? Ptolemy, Cassander, Lysimachus, and Seleucus. They were at war with each other.
Yeah.
They went to war with each other.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But nobody ever speaks on that element of the history. But like you said, when it comes down to us, it's as if this white savior complex, you stepped in and you saved our day.
You saved us. Nah, man, you made things worse, man. But you've done these things. Read that back.
God, this is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
Yeah.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
Yeah. So we're gonna rule over our oppressors, man. That's the whole point. And anytime we say, isn't that an eye for an eye? Doesn't that sound right? Anytime we speak to that, hey, you guys are spreading hate.
Hey, you read that? What was you reading from?
Isaiah 14.
And like you said, that doesn't apply to the time of King David and King Solomon.
It's the times to come.
That's the times to come. And that doesn't apply to when we were Moors, you know, because we had Esau in captivity at certain points of history. But this like you going into us having them in our land, us ruling over them, and you know, them being Edomites, us being the Israelites in perfect order. It's never been as so.
Can you bring that out in Luke Bible Show?
This is Luke 21, verse 20.
Shalak. Let this brother bring that precept out.
Nah, he go ahead and get it.
All right, come. Go ahead and bring that out.
All right, this is Luke 21, verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
And this is when Esau began to actually have a strong foothold in the land, in the earth. That what's going on now, the Balfour Declaration, that set up this Israeli state that we see today. That plan was set in motion here in this exact moment. Continue to read, Baba Kusha.
Verse 22, 21. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto.
Now, when you go into that, all you have to do is look up the siege of Masada, man. Look up the siege of Masada. Hey, do the digging for yourself, man. That was Esau going against the Israelites.
The real Israelites.
The real Israelites. Because he would like to always have it that he's always warring against himself. He's the Egyptians, and the Romans came in and took over the Egyptians. No, man, you have always had this thing for the melanated man. Whether it's Israel or not, you was always going in there tearing up some shit, man. So it says, let them flee into the mountains. Esau surrounded us, surrounded Masada, couldn't nothing go in, couldn't nothing go out. He starved these people. Let's fight with humanitarianism. He didn't have that then. He ain't showing it now. That's where you get the Geneva Convention, and he stayed going against it.
That's right.
Now he's starving these people out today. He's doing it over there in various lands, and he's actually soft doing it to you people here in America now. With all of these prices going up, he's starving you people out. You can't make no money. Ain't nothing coming in now. Ain't nothing finna go out.
Hey, because leaving to Esau, he's the real Jews, and the real Christians are the American white people.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they fill in the blanks of both things, and they don't. When they think of Christianity and white Jesus, and they don't think that's not including us. They don't include us on either side. So like how you said, they're warring with themselves, but they're trying to like you're the aggressor, but the victim. How are you a bully and a victim?
Right.
The spirit. You had something?
No. Like, go ahead. I got something for you.
I was gonna say, because he's doing that same thing. Look at Hamas.
Yeah.
You know, he's the bully and he's the victim.
Yeah.
You know, he's taking everything from them. They Bitcoin and, you know, millions and millions of dollars from them.
Land.
You know, just bombing them, man. But he set that all up.
Yeah.
You know.
Because he's as the scriptures say, he's that old serpent.
That's right.
And it's like everything that Esau is doing right now is exposing his hand. He's showing he's in his own trick bag.
Yeah.
Every time he makes a step, you're proving that you're not the true. You're not God's chosen people. Every step you make a step forward. All right, we got you. You make a step back. You're fucking up. All right. I got something you brothers.
All right, I'm gonna let him finish this off. Go ahead.
It's verse 22. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled.
These are days of vengeance. All right. So this is Esau coming against our people. He did it in 70 AD.
That's right.
All right. That's where you get the Ark of Titus. Why aren't the small hats in the uproar here in America with all these Ark of Tituses around? Why? Because it's you. You're that guy, bro. You stole a heritage. When something really strikes a chord with you, Esau can't, though we use the word nigga all the time, Esau can't use it around us. Of course, you know, we ain't tripping, but you can't use that around Jake because it plucks at a
low point.
A low point. That is a low point, and you'll see the small hats walk right up under, right into a United Nations building, man. I've seen such things. I worked in them. They don't feel a certain type of way. Why? Because they're painting a false narrative that they never fit. Continue, because this is a part of them stealing it, man. Continue.
23. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
That's speaking. That was then, because our people were like the siege of Masada, what happened in 70 AD. Our people were actually surrounded, and our people couldn't eat. So if you had a newborn baby that needed goat's milk, and because your breast milk isn't producing because you're not getting the adequate nutrients from the food, what is your child gonna do? What is he gonna drink outside of the goat's milk? Ain't no goat. You starve to death, man. One to those that give suck in those days. These people don't have the means to actually feed themselves or a child in that day. Because you're gonna want to fill your belly before that child get fed when the push come to shove. So whoa, continue. Destruction, man. Destruction. Continue.
But woe unto them, for there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people.
And did it not happen? You seen it during 70 AD. That's when you get the Israelite diaspora. That's what that's when you get the so-called Moors. You get Jakes in Europe. You'll get Jake in Morocco. You'll get Jakes in parts of Italy, man.
That's right.
You see? You'll get these things. Continue.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations.
This didn't happen to them little hats, man.
Yeah, this never happened to them, man. You got a certain thing called the Arab slave trade. Here it is, Ishmael was yakking us up by our necks, putting us into it, and to this day, they still have I forget the low-level Elamites that they Jake, but they live in the land of
I know what you're talking about.
Job. Yeah. You still have slaves to this day that's caught up in that system, huh? All right.
That's real.
It says, go back to 24, Baba Shah.
Verse 24, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations.
Yeah, so you got many slave trades.
Wait, yeah, so like,
You got
show me in the time of history where all them little hats was pushed into the land of Africa to be slaves, into the land of in Europe, into South America, Central America. Show me where they was. Read that again.
Yeah.
Because they said that the Israelites would be pushed into captivity in all lands. When did that happen to them?
Never.
They're in the power position, even though they're being attacked, even they're so-called being attacked.
Right.
They're still in the power position.
Right.
Oh, how dare you? We're gonna cut your power off, your electricity. Like you said, going back to 70 AD when we were under that attack, we had no power.
Yeah. No power at
We
all.
were besieged by the Roman Empire.
That's right. Who was it? Vespasian.
Unpaid them.
No, you had Vespasian,
Titus and Domitian.
Yeah. That's where you get the Ark of Titus from.
Which were Edomites.
Yeah, Edomites, man. Come on, you had Edomites. Here it is. One Edomite's going against another Edomite, and you're on the same landmass. You got the same humans. Why are you guys warring against each other?
Come on, man.
Give me the causation as to why you're warring with each other. We can understand why Esau came against us. I have melanated skin, and it represents something spiritual because I'm the people of the Lord, and I see why you lack it because you come after the spirit of Cain, man. You're the son of perdition. But let's get back to it, man.
It says, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
See,
until
the Jews shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. That's where you get the siege of Messiah. That's where you get the diaspora of 70 AD, man. And that's where you get the divvying up of our land. That's where you get the Balfour Declaration of 1948, man.
The Lord just prophesied the heathen coming in and taking over the land.
Trotting down the land.
They're trying it down.
They trotting the land down. So who land does it belong to? Israelite, man. It belongs to us, man.
Because you don't just got Ishmael over there, and you don't just got Esau over there. You got Ishmael, you got Esau over there, you got Ham over there.
That's to be honest, that's the true melting pot.
It is.
Because that's what man originated from.
Well, that's why America and Israel are unified, because basically they're the two unwalled villages. They're in unity. They're in unity to each other. You know.
You had a precept of not bring me that Deuteronomy, that last one. Bring out what you had.
Yeah, real quick one. Well, it's a few verses. This is Amos 9 and 11. And it says, and in that day I will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen and closed up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. See, this is where these little heads, they try to, like you say, manipulate prophecy, thinking that they're going to build the third temple.
Right.
Listen, man, the third temple is spiritual.
That's right, man.
All right, it's not going to be a physical place where you people are going to see we did it. It's every step they do is showing that they're the fraud.
That's
All right, reading on. It says, here's the point, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord, that doeth this. So in that day, like you said, we're going to own all their lands. We're going to own all their lands. Their intellect. It's going to be a role reverse.
We're going to take control of your intellectual property, like Mount Petra, Mount Seir, whatever you want to call it. That ain't going to be a tourist attraction anymore. We're going to turn it to a parking lot, man. Who knows, man?
A crop field.
Yeah, because it's going to be in our possession. Hey, was it any more to that?
Verse 13, and it says, behold, the days cometh, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper.
Yeah. And who's the plowman? Who's
Come on
doing
now.
all the work here?
Yeah, come on
Jacob,
now.
man.
Right.
Jake is doing it. Yeah, what is Yashashakar? Issachar. He is hired, man.
That's right.
Yo, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place here.
man.
The only reason this place is even being held up to this point is because the so-called Negro and really the Northern Kingdom, man, the so-called Latinas, man.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yourself to back up what you just said about taking all his property and stuff.
Okay.
This is Job 27 and verse 16. I'm gonna read 13 and jump down. This is the portion of the wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty.
right.
Verse 16. I'm jump down.
Heritage is something that's passed down, man. You
Right.
know. Yeah.
Though he heap up silver as the dust and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on.
Yeah.
And in the innocent shall divide the silver.
See, the just is going to put it on with all of this, his ill-gotten gains and his ill-gotten deeds and everything that he's gathered unto himself. He think that he's really going to kick his foot back and be like, mission accomplished. No, man, that's all for us, man.
Yeah.
That's what we're laboring for, to take the spoils of our enemy, man. Thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, you was you?
I'll finish it off for you.
Yeah, finish that off.
This is Amos 9 and 13. It says, behold, the days cometh, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper.
Yeah, you that's yo, it's a fire, it's a rage that burns in that plowman's heart. Because for a plowman to turn against you, he's been mistreated, he's been undervalued, and just these two alone, that's worthy for that dude in his eyes to put you to death, man. He's gonna come against you, the very man that feeds him. Do you know what type of rage, what type of insanity this man has what place of insanity he is at for him to actually come against the hand that feeds
Hey, well,
him?
and this is already happening because this is why you have in this culture now, quiet quit. Jake's already in the spirit of already like, man, the hell with these jobs, man.
Yeah.
All right,
I've been
to hell with
I
it.
keep struggling.
Right, and that's already disrupting this whole economic system because the main workers, the slaves of it, have a man, fuck this shit attitude, and it's only becoming more and more contagious, and that's why it's like Jake ain't trying to stay on no job 20, 30. That's an older Jake spirit. That's that baby boomer. That's 30, 40 years on a job. Jake nowadays will walk off a job.
Yeah. Because Jake don't understand. Jake wasn't given that
Look
history
at
of
him
what
at
Jake
you.
really went through, or Jake don't really understand the ramifications of what Jake had to go through to just be at this dilapidated state in which we're in. You know, the old folks will make you be thankful for this. Nah, man, Jake ain't thankful for shit, man.
Nah, Jake is in a different. That's the spirit of the Lord.
Yeah.
The Lord is because his punishment is over. Because what good? Like being an excellent slave is. That's not a.
There's nothing. There's no glory to
There's
it.
no glory to being the best slave you could be in another man's kingdom.
Yeah.
We're like you said. This is the true liberation. This is true freedom. This is where we're working towards, and we're seeing it come and play because this is literally prophecy.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're being made free by this, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, can I get a scripture?
Yeah,
after
you
that?
got it, you
Can
got
you get to add to this? Get Jeremiah
30 and 8.
No, is that 30 and 8? Yeah, you already know 30 and 8.
Yeah,
Let me
right.
read this and then get that, okay?
Go.
This is and it says the treaders of grapes, and the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel.
It said the mountains. Go back, read that back.
And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt.
You can continue.
Yep. And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabited them, because like you were saying earlier, the Lord is about to destroy that land over there, man. All right. And really the fact that the Lord telling those so-called, Israelites, black Hebrews, where they coined themselves black Hebrews, to get the hell out of there is really mercy. That's really mercy, because you had no business being over there in any way, because we're not of that shit. So really through the Spirit of the Lord having them people deport you is really mercy, because the Lord is about to destroy that whole that land is about to be destroyed.
Ain't gonna be no witnesses from the
that land about to be laid waste. That's where we're at, and that's prophecy. All right. And it says and drink the wine thereof, and they shall also make gardens and eat the fruit thereof. And that's it. You can go ahead.
See, but that's the kingdom to come, man.
Yeah, man.
You got it.
God. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 8. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke.
Matter of fact, go up a verse.
Oh,
You get the point, because see, you got a lot of Jake out here talking about there ain't gonna be no Jacob trouble. See, you gotta have a spirit on you. See, people look at us like we're madmen, because really through the Spirit, we are madmen. All right, we want the bad to come.
That's right.
We understand that it has to get a whole lot worse before it gets better. So we want the famine. We want the RFID chip. We want destruction in the streets. We want it.
That's right.
Because it's biblical prophecy. And that's going into this. So go ahead with that.
That's right. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it.
Yeah, none is like this. Like you said, the brothers was beautifully going into 70 AD. And 70 AD was a major blow into our people. But what's about to come to America? Holy shit. It's going to make 70 AD look like Disneyland. Do you understand that? The scriptures is telling us that this day that we're about to go through is going to be likened unto a day that's never been before. 70 AD, we haven't been the same since 70 AD.
What?
That's the last time we were in our land. That's the last time Judah, Benjamin, and Levi was really in the spirit of the temple, the high holy days, you name it. That was the last time. Come on, man.
Look. But peep how the Lord destroyed those men that were still trying to do the right thing. During the time of 70 AD. Bring that out in Maccabees, the equals multiplied, because we ain't got to pull out every account. But look at, you had men that were fried alive. You had men that had their tongues pulled out. You had men that had hot cadron skillets, man.
Cannibalism.
And they throwing sons, a whole grown man butt naked in a skillet, and you frying this man to death.
In front of the people.
In front of the people, you put men in brazen, hot boiling bulls, and the only thing you can see is smoke coming out.
As they steam to death.
And this is he has the records. He's showing me his movies. Why we look at Saul and we cringe, man. I don't even watch that shit. That shit is gory as hell.
That's
This dude make movies because
for entertainment purposes.
Entertainment purposes. He's going to do this to you people, man.
Treadmill was an instrument of the treadmill is an instrument of torture.
Because the motherfucker couldn't stop running.
See?
Bring out what you had.
Let them finish this and then we'll jump to that.
This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
Jacob's trouble is just a term that covers just bad scenarios for Jake, man. For Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, specifically in this land, but are really around the world, but specifically in the Babylon the Great. It's just bad scenarios on top of bad scenarios.
It wasn't a general broad brush that he's like, yo, you just catching hell. Like overall,
just
like
trouble.
No, he's literally talking about a small period of time though. Like so look at 70 AD, look at slavery, look at the Arab slave trade, wherever you want to look at, and you can identify the floods, identify Esau's wickedness, or you can identify the Lord's judgment. You cannot compare it to Jacob's trouble, man. The flood is, man.
Because you know what, brother, if I may add to your point you said earlier, is see where these people get lost in their mind is that Esau pretends he's the little hat and all that, but really in the spirit, he know what time it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Esau know what time it is more than the 2/3 of our own people know what time it is.
Yeah.
And he understands he is fighting for that birthright that he lost in Genesis, the 25th
Yeah.
through the 28th, 29th chapters. That's what this is all about. He's about to go to war. We don't got to get it, but Revelation, the 12th chapter speaks about that. That he's going to make war with Michael and his angels. You think a man is that outrageous? You know how outrageous you got to be
Right.
to go into your mind and say, man, I'm about to go fight God.
You know how much of a sword you have to even
You know
think can do that?
how a sword, what type of just everything that goes into that to say, man, I'm willing to go fight God about this.
Right.
Ain't nothing like you get the madness of the mind of the person that we're dealing with, but everybody out here, they worried about LeBron's 20th season.
Right.
They worried about Halloween. They worried about all this shit that don't got nothing to do with anything. But what you should be concerned about is your enemy is about to throw everything he has, everything he has at this moment.
The kitchen sink. boy.
Because he knows what it means. He knows that when he catches this lost, that's it. He's going into perpetual slavery. And that's it. So he's gonna fight like a dog with his back against the wall.
Yeah, like you're going to 2 Ezra 16 chapter, they should be like bad men sparing
None.
none. Damn, they were about to lose it out here.
I got free stuff for y'all.
Hey, you
Can I
got-
break it down real quick? Just to back up what y'all was saying. He about to throw everything he got, right? This is Proverbs 16:4. It says, the Lord have made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
See, he made Esau just to bring a bad time to the earth.
Come on, man.
And he's really he's the bad time that the Lord is about to use Esau to bring about the about on the planet. It's literally finna change. It's finna change the geological locations of things, man. Just like the flood, it shifted things and things moved. This judgment here is gonna be beyond. We can't even fathom the words for it. To be honest, man.
Yeah. Hey, and the scripture goes too in Isaiah the 24th chapter about the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunk.
Yeah, but can we really imagine it though? You know, we can't
That's why
really imagine it, man.
Yeah, man.
I have not seen, man.
You can bring up. What
Oh
you
yeah, I'm
got.
going fishing at Jeremiah 30.
Come.
It says, it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of
Who
it.
is that he? That is the elect, man. That is the only individual that's gonna be saved out of it, man. You gotta remember that out of all the Israelites that the Lord saved during the time of the Exodus when we was coming out of Egypt, only 2 made it to the promised land, man.
Right.
Not even Moses himself was able to make it into the promised land. You had Caleb and you had Joshua, man.
Yeah.
Read that end part.
It says, but he shall be saved out of it.
He shall be saved out of it. You remember the acts of Caleb and Joshua? Every Israelite that went out to go recon the land came back with a bad report, but not Caleb, not Joshua. Why? Because they understood what they understood the magnitude of the situation. Lord's with us, man.
Oh, but but you know what? Jacob's trouble, like the apostle say, Jacob's trouble is going to lead into Esau's trouble. There's Elam trouble. Everybody's going to be in trouble like we're going into during this time period. But so if the Lord is only specific, he's being specific here. Only he.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Our people got to get out of their head that these other nations can get saved and be brought into this, man. No, they had a part in our devastation and our destruction and our lowliness. You reap what you sow, that you read earlier. He that leadeth into captivity must surely go into captivity.
Get a quick precept in the
Yeah.
same chapter. I'm going to jump to 16. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16.
Yep.
Therefore, all they that devour thee
Oh, come on,
shall
man.
be devoured.
Yeah.
And all thine adversaries, every one of them,
Every one of them.
shall go into captivity.
Oh, read that again,
Did
man.
you not touch the apple of the Lord's eye, man? Come on,
We about to, that's where we at, man.
Yeah.
All right, this little bit of, see, even what Esau got to bring down the pipeline, man. It's going to be major. I'm not going to downplay it and be disrespectful. We say this humbly. But when we at the end of this ass whooping, Lamentations, the 4th chapter tells you that our cap, what does it say? It's
Affliction of Zion is accomplished.
the affliction of Zion is accomplished,
No
man.
more carry thee away into captivity.
No more carry thee. Come on, the water, brother. That's where we're at.
Yep.
We can't really get beat up no more.
Yep.
How much more of an ass whooping these people on the sign could take, man?
Right.
Only thing left is the Lord's about to bring judgment. He's gonna be a madman on Esau. Esau's about to come and basically mow over these people.
Yeah.
But that's still the Lord's prophecy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's only gonna be but so far, but you're not gonna touch the elect.
Right.
Okay.
We read this is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them.
And that's all these heathen nations. So that pray for
beautiful,
Hamas, man. To hell with Hamas, man.
Yeah, man.
And you can tell him, how about Shimei, I wish I said it, because, hey, thus saith the scriptures, man. He's gonna receive his judgment right along with Esau.
Hey.
You got it.
No, wait, Esau sit back and watch these different black gangs shoot and kill each other. Hey man, I sit back, man, grab your popcorn.
Right.
Enjoy the show. Cause all they gonna do is destroy each other.
Right.
Yeah, it is. It's like being mad at two robbers that broke into your house and they start fighting
and shot each other.
Yeah, they shot
Right.
each other. Man, look at these niggas. I'm finna sit behind there and watch this. Comes to this shit, man.
It's my couch.
Both dropped dead.
Both dropped.
Continuing on. It says, every one of them shall go into captivity.
So when we tell you that, it ain't gonna be not one heathen nation that goes unaccounted for.
Right.
Hey man, we're gonna do an inventory count in the kingdom of heaven, man. It ain't gonna be, hey, I want all my slaves, Lord willing, we be at that number, man.
Inventory count. Their property, their possessions.
Right.
Okay, we got.
Cause hey, he gotta divvy it up, though. I wish I gotta go through. Hey, Jake gonna go through, do the counting. Hey, they gonna report the numbers back to Yahushua, and Yahushua going, hey, you did this, when he gave out the cities,
10 cities,
this, 10 cities, you 30. Hey, the Lord's gonna do that, but we gotta make sure we lay hands and feet on every last one of you. You gotta be accounted for, man.
They gonna be traded too.
Finishing it up.
You sold a boy for a harlot, all right?
Continuing on. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey.
So every nation outside of Israel is going into slavery in the kingdom of heaven. That's why it says
That's right.
they shall possess their possessions. We're gonna possess you. Because hey, we could go into the Arab slave trade, we could go into various slave trades, and we could point, Elam had us, man.
Yeah.
Ishmael had
The
us.
Hawaiians had us.
Yeah.
Maybe forgotten. Japheth.
Japheth. I was
Through the
just gonna say.
Medo-Persian Empire. They had us in captivity
saying.
as well.
So Xerxes, man, somebody gonna have him on the field in the kingdom, man.
Pray for Maui, man. Fuck them too.
Yeah, for real, man.
Right.
To hell with them, man. For real. Like, pray for Hamas.
No, because Jake got to get it through their head,
You got
man.
Floyd. You got Floyd. Here it is.
Yeah.
Floyd won't send. Here it is. Jake, you done had various Jakes of certain celebrity get gunned down. Floyd didn't send no private jet for him or her, but he's sending a private jet with toilet tissue and some bubble gum and Tic Tacs. But he's making the effort to let the world know that, hey, I stand with Israel, man.
Amiri,
It's off, man.
Amiri Stoudemire did the same thing too.
But we knew this bugged out. That dude's a weenie. Like,
Yeah, he really is.
he's a weenie.
Precept just to go into it to show you how the Lord feels about these other nations.
That's right.
This is Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket and are counted as the small dust of the
Hey,
balance.
so imagine the waters, because coming up in the country, man, you can't go in the house. You had to keep your water in the bucket, and to keep it cool, you put it in the bucket, and you'll go find a deep freezer, and you'll find a big block, and boom. I'm not trying to gather none of that water that fell out in that process, man.
Yeah, man.
I care about what's left in the bucket, because that's the only thing that's gonna do me any good at this point.
Yep.
All right? The only good that's to be done on this earth is of the Israelites, man, and not just any Israelite. We're talking about the elect, the creme de la creme. That's the only ones that can do good. All right, continue.
This is Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
So we're talking about Moab, your so-called Chinese. You got Am, your so-called Japanese. You got Elam, your so-called East Indian. You got Ishmael, your modern-day Arab. Hey, the Lord said all of them, man.
Hey, because if you, y'all brothers ask, when y'all see these videos of what's happening in Gaza, They don't be like, oh my God, this is so sad.
Yeah.
No.
You just look at the video with like a,
Right. Yep, that's what it
Yeah,
is.
that's literally you gunning down. When we get gunned down and they see a violent video happening to us, you think they feel, oh, we need to go
Oh
over there,
my
help those
God,
Negroes. Oh my
poor black
God,
babies.
Yeah, them niggas didn't send you a hot dog, man. They ain't sent Flint not one bottle of water,
Katrina.
man. But Floyd sending a private jet, man. Like,
Yeah.
stop, bro.
Right.
You guys are idiots. That's
they
why the
don't-
Lord called you sottish.
And they don't need no resources from Floyd Mayweather. They got more than what you got.
Yo, what you come on, bro.
yeah, you not right. You again, you're helping the people that you suck up to. They got, like
Right.
you said, you're a project baby in the eyes of them rats, man.
Right. I agree. This is Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15 down to 17. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket and are counted as the small dust of the balance.
All right, so you got to break it down for Jay. You know how I get down. Hey, when you put your flour on the balance beam, okay, that's 16 ounces. Bump, you push it in there. All that residue, you blow it, man. You don't keep that. I ain't licking my finger, none of that. It's nothing,
Hitting
man.
the side of
Like,
it.
Nah, we ain't doing it. It's
Right.
nothing. It's to be disregarded.
Small dust.
Yeah, that's what the Lord like in
Nothing,
the
it
heat.
don't mean
See?
anything.
Continuing on. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. Verse 16. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering.
And it says the Isles, they're speaking to you Polynesians, man, to the Japhite people.
Yeah.
And it says, continue,
he-
read back up under them.
And then
The
Lebanon
Lebanese.
Yep.
going into basically, Lebanon is known for its trees.
Yeah.
So basically, like, the Lord requires a sacrifice.
Yep.
And the elders out in Dallas, they was going into this last night in their camp. Like in the spirit, basically, like, hey, when the Lord had to the Lord had to be sacrificed for this thing of ours to proceed forward. For him, for what is that, Revelation, the 5th chapter to occur, for the 7 seals to open. Yahweh Shai had to spill his blood. So the same thing about Isaiah, the 63rd chapter, sacrifice in Basra. This sacrifice has to happen.
Okay.
It don't care about your feelings. It doesn't matter how you think about it. It's sad. Oh, there's going to be death out here. Oh, baby. Da, da, da. No, the Lord, it must happen.
Okay.
All right? It's nothing else is sufficient. It doesn't matter about you giving up your money, kissing the boots. All that shit don't matter. This place got to burn.
That's right.
That's right. Continuing on. This is Isaiah chapter 40, verse 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing, and vanity.
Vanity, useless, man. Vanity, look up the word vain. It's useless, man. It's pointless. The Lord said, really, outside of these heathens being subservient unto us, they're pointless, man. The true purpose of this globe and everything that's within this inner work is to be here for the Israelites to serve and give praises unto the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Isn't that kind of simple? That makes sense, man. That gives my life full purpose and understanding, man. But you had anything else?
Oh yeah, I got something else.
I want to bring that up.
I got this in Hebrews.
I'll let y'all take a shot.
This is Hebrews chapter 13, verse 14. For here have we no continuous city.
So, but here in America, in Babylon, that's why it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. All right, read.
Wait, hold on. Because we're in a very pivotal time in the world right now where everybody's thinking that them people over there in the land, you know what I'm saying, are fulfilling biblical prophecy. So are they getting are the Israelis getting pushed out of that country, or are they pushing somebody else out of the country?
They're pushing
They
somebody
pushing
else.
somebody else out.
So they have a continual city, right? Matter of fact, they've had a continual city from 1948,
yeah, from
1948 until now.
Now, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Right.
who hasn't had a continual
Come on, man.
city since 1619?
We haven't had a continual city since 70 AD.
Yeah. But let's just
I
shoot
get
the
what
play
you're
on the
saying.
new
Yeah,
one.
come on, yeah.
Yeah, for the new age idiot, man. That's
Yeah.
why I like to say. Because the old age idiot actually kind of knew something. He was just misled, you know?
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. But these new age idiots, man, let's just start at 1619.
1492.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to. 1492. That's when Columbus stepped his funky feet down on Puerto the Rich, man. Down there amongst Puerto Rico. Where is our country, man? Show me where the Puerto Ricans have somebody advocating for them at the UN. Show me where Gad and Reuben, the Native American and Seminole Indian, has somebody advocating for them at the UN, at the G12 summit. The hell, the Negroes.
Hey man, Brazil. What about Asher?
Yeah.
Brazilians, shit. They basically Brazil is like little Germany. That's where a lot of them Germans after World War II, they fled to America and they went down. Like man, when you go down there, if you see videos of Brazil, all the buildings look like that shit is like Germany. That's how much of a hold that Esau has on these countries, man. So whereas like any of these people's continual,
to be honest, he run every country. Yeah, we may dominate it in population, but Esau's behind it. We can see Moab over there all day in China. Don't think for one hot second that it ain't an Edomite somewhere up in the getting his grubby hands trying to take lay hold there too, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they say the British run China, right?
Yeah, at this point, it's just is symbolic speaking points that they use when they put these particular Moabites and these Ammonites on the forefront. Esau runs that shit.
That's why you have the 7 heads, 10 horns.
How else does this system get along so well that Esau can be so prosperous? It would only make sense that he's behind it all, man. He's Oz behind behind that curtain, man.
Yeah. That's why this whole battle between the EU and BRICS is still a Edomite, a so-called white man's ran organization versus another one that's ran by another so-called white man.
Yeah.
That's all it really is. The ones that are leaving the allies of being under the EU and the 7 heads, 10 horns are just going to Esau with Putin and because he's really the ruler of that shit.
Yeah.
When we look at the BRICS, you're not thinking about Kim Jong-un or Xing or whatever you say the Chinese you're not thinking of them. You thinking of Putin.
Yeah, you're thinking of Russia.
You thinking of Russia. You're not thinking about Iran. You're not thinking about none of that shit. When you hear these things, your mind frame focuses in on Esau. Right. It's Esau on one side he's charging you 20% interest on his loan. I'll charge you 14% interest on the loan. Either way, you still getting jerked over.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, some more.
God, this is Hebrews chapter 13, verse 14. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come.
We seek one to come. So this continual city we're speaking of, hey, it's in the heavens, man. It's hard to be honest. We're already there. We're just going through the motion now to get there.
That's it, man.
That's end all be all, man. We're there. We seek one to come. So this America, hey, building this place up, trying to get your American dream, get the white picket fence, the 3 kids, 2.5, the woman, the whole, hey, man. To hell with all of that, man. To hell with living ghetto fabulous here, man. To hell with being seen. I don't want Michael Jordan's status and wealth. I don't want his prestige. I don't want Floyd. I want nothing to do with the prestige of this world, man. Not in this society. You can't even be righteously celebrated in the land that's not yours, man. You can't righteously. When King David went into various parts of Israel, there was fanfare when this man went into a particular land.
Samuel?
Yeah, Samuel. We don't have that here, man. There's no reason if LeBron is such a great athlete, he would be considered a great warrior. Wherever this great warrior went, it would be fanfare behind this guy. There's no fanfare behind this nigga here because you only glory in LeBron as much as Esau allows you and he exposes unto you. Right. That's why you'll never have another Michael Jackson, man. You can never have it because the ways in which Esau pushed he created the narrative and he created that view for you to do such things. That's not here anymore, man. He did that for a nigga. That's in his land. That's in Esau's land. What more in our land, bro? We have nothing to look forward to in here, in this place, man. Our continual city is in the land that's being fought over right now, man. Hamas. You got it?
This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 8. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him.
Oh, that's it. That's Jeremiah.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah.
So we ain't gonna be coming to Esau. We're gonna be broken from the need of all things of Esau.
That's why we need all hell to break loose. That's why we need Jacob's trouble.
See?
That's right.
Yeah.
Read that.
I was gonna say, if I may, because see, what like you said, a lot of Jake is gonna bug out. A lot of our people are gonna bug out when these times come, because they think it is getting worse. And what are we gonna do? Not realizing that it's actually, this is a time of the day that you don't have to spend this money.
Yep.
The day that you don't have to go to a job. The day that you don't have to worry about, hey, you can look at it like, oh, we're gonna go through a famine, or you can look at it, this is the last day I gotta eat GMO food.
Right.
Which side do you want to be on? Because that's really freedom.
Right, that's it.
That's our first day of freedom in the spirit. But if Jake gonna be out here, white man help me.
Yep.
Nigga, we free.
Right.
Yeah.
To be honest,
You got it.
I was gonna say, and Salaki, that's what I was gonna say. That's what Jake don't understand. When there's a transition, you're going from a transition from being oppressed to being free. That shit is not gonna come without, like, you got a collar around your neck. That shit is being snatched off.
Yeah, man.
If you getting that collar snatched on your neck, it's gonna be uncomfortable.
It's gonna be rawness and
And it's gonna be tough. You're gonna be, your neck gonna be hurt.
weak.
That yoke, that yoke was in Jake during slavery. That yoke of iron, it weared on your neck. That it was actually in dentures. It actually brought down your skin, and it exposed skin to a point that it became like a chain.
That's
like
right.
a true
It
chain.
became a part of
became
you.
a part of you, man. So when it's being broken, you gotta imagine the rush that comes about it, the force, the uncomfortability, the neck. You move your neck this way. I don't want to cut you. You know how Jake is, man.
That shit
Damn.
might be seared to the skin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You
It's
might be
seared to
pulling
the
it off
skin.
and it's seared to the skin. So you like, oh my God, this shit hurt. And that's exactly what's gonna happen. The transition from being an Esau system to being out of Esau system is going to be painful. You're transitioning into something completely new that you're unfamiliar with.
Right.
Yeah, but it's a whole.
real.
It's free. It's a free thought in just knowing that. Like right now, we understand we can't go out here robbing, killing, and stealing, and just going for what we know, so to speak. Why? Because the Lord said, hey, your ass better go to work. You better go do your lessons. You better go to camp. Hey, we still got a total line. But when the Lord say, hey, yo, that's that suffering. But when the Lord say, yo, man, you ain't got to go to work no more. Ain't no more doing no lessons. Ain't no more getting up the cages. Like, word? All I got to do is depend on you. He's literally moving Esau out of the way. It's like, this middleman, it's just me and you now. You see?
That's real.
Hey, man, I'm looking forward to that, man. Man, come on. Do you know what type of
The
feeling?
outward temptation.
That's
Do you know what type of feeling that's gonna be, man? Yeah, it's a lot of uncertainty, because I've been talking to you through this way. It's kind of different when I'm face to face, but it's just gonna be me and the Lord.
no
because-
noise in between.
Yeah.
it ain't nothing in between no more, man. That is gonna show that the Lord was really dealing with us, man. When He removed this guy out of the way, it's gonna be some guys that do this.
'Cause-
when the Lord do this, they're gonna go right along with Him. But the elect is gonna be me and you, Lord.
Because you know what, like the brother said, man, we're being like a wild, like an animal. Like like zoo animals. Like you go to the zoo, you can't let a lion that's been in the zoo, you can't just, okay, let me go take you to Africa.
You hear that?
Oh no.
You can't just go drop it off. You can't do that with animals that have been in captivity.
Yeah.
So imagine like you said, that's why the Lord has been basically, we've already had our bonds broken off.
Yeah, we're going through that. What's it called? The reintroductions.
Yeah.
Like, to getting back into being that.
We being
life.
rehabilitated
Yeah.
into the spirit of being Israelites.
Yeah.
So that when the time comes, we won't take that initial, like a lot of Jake, like I said, they're not going to be able to, 2/3 of our people, when that moment comes and there's no more going to the grocery store, Esau cut that off, through the Lord cut it off through Esau, right? No more grocery store, no more jobs, no more driving in cars, no more cell phones, right? When all that shit is gone, that's where you're gonna have people that are gonna want to go right back into slavery. Like, hold on, shit, we were better in Egypt.
And that gonna show you in that time they're gonna have an opportunity.
Yeah, they're gonna have an
They're
opportunity.
gonna have a opportunity. What side?
Nah,
you gonna
give me
choose at
that chip,
point?
man. Fuck that. I'll take the chip.
This is Ezekiel 18:29. Yet saith the house of Israel, the way of the Lord is not equal. O house of Israel, are my ways not equal? Are your ways unequal? The reason why I brought that out is because when all hell break loose, Esau's ways are unequal. Esau's ways are oppressive. Esau's ways take away your life. They take away your wealth. They take away your substance. It's your soul. They take away everything. And getting out of this damn system brings us back to neutrality. It brings us back to an equilibrium because it puts us back to the Lord.
Positivity.
It puts us back to positivity. The Lord is going to be equal with us. You see what I'm saying? He's going to go from us being in an unequal position to being equal, you know? And you think that that's going to be an easy transition? That's not going to be an easy transition. This is why it's called Jacob's trouble. Jake going to have to make a decision. Do you want to suffer through the things that we're going through to get to the equality that you're looking for? Or are you going to stay in Esau's system and get his damn chip so you can get some food in your belly for the time being?
Yeah, they're gonna have they're gonna have an opportunity at that time to pick a side.
God. I got one.
Oh, you go ahead.
I got one to back y'all up, man. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. You got it?
Nah, read that back.
Okay. This is Isaiah chapter 10 and 20. And it shall come to pass in that day, and that the times y'all talking about, that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him.
That remnant is the elect, man. You gotta when you hear that word remnant, you gotta think the elect, man. He ain't talking 2/3. Think the elect. The remnant is a very small portion, man. All right, and
Because only the in prison, man. 2/3 want to stay here. 2/3. That's why they gonna get left here.
And that word stay means to rely. So it says, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. Talking about, like y'all was saying, Esau.
Trusting his own oppression.
Yep.
It says, but shall stay upon the Lord.
Hey, because with Jake got you know, you see these movies where a woman be you know, the old sitcoms where the female character get physically abused by her man. She got the big black eye and shit. And you know, in the show, they try to, you know, you need to leave him alone, man. You can do better than him. You need to leave him alone. No, I just love him. You know, she got the big. I just love him. He you don't understand. He loves me. I love him. That's 2/3. We like, yo, leave this fucking devil alone, man. Come back to the Lord. No, he loves me. He really got my best interest at hand. You don't understand.
he takes care of my eyes like he did it to you, bro.
That's relying. Like Jake's gonna rely onto these people to the point, like the scriptures say, they're not even gonna repent, man. And our people are gonna die here. See, that's like you said. This thing is all about the elect, man. We don't give a damn about the 2/3 of our people. They done had every situation and opportunity to even to try to get right. Our people don't want to be right, man. They see all this goddamn. It's man. At this point, man, just open up TikTok. Hey, do you know that this is wrong? Hey, do you know these are sea bugs? We've been telling you dickheads all of the last 20, 30, 40 years starting with our apostles and elders that those are sea bugs. You're not supposed to eat that shit. No, you're not. That's sea bugs. That's nasty. What if
Now, Jake, right?
Hey, but just to go, just to add to the captain's point, we also said that y'all was gonna come and say that y'all been knowing this shit.
Yeah,
Right.
Oh, come on, man.
And that's offensive, man. Like brothers know, they gotta be of the Lord, man.
Unthankful.
Like it's to be so unthankful to take a man's intellectual property rights, man.
Yeah, man.
You stealing from the Lord at this point, man.
Yeah, man.
You eating off the table of the Lord, and then you heaping, and now you trying to call it your own thing. Hey, you got a price to pay for that, man.
That's right.
You got a price to pay for that. You can bring out what you got.
Cut. This is Isaiah chapter 51, verse 14. The captive exile,
Whenever you finish breaking
hasten it, that he may be loose.
Read that back, Salah.
Cause this is Isaiah chapter 51, verse 14. The captive exile.
And we're the captive exiles.
That's right. Hastening that he may be loose, and that he should not die in the pit.
Yeah, we desire that we don't die here in America, man. We desire that we don't die, in this system, man. We don't want to die as the Lord promised Abraham. Oh, yeah, it was Abraham. Your children should die in a strange land. That used to be one of my biggest fears, is dying away in a state outside of Alabama where ain't nobody gonna care for you. Nobody love you. Who gonna care for your vessel the way your family would?
Right.
That's what's going on here. Esau don't give a damn about us, man. He care less what happens to your vessel afterward. He done served his purpose, man. Push that nigga in the hole, man. Keep it moving. We desire to get the hell up out of this place. We're not appreciated here, man. The Lord's not appreciated. We're not appreciated. Got it?
Cut. Nor that his bread should fail.
Read that one more time.
Cut. Yep, I read it again. This is Isaiah chapter 51, verse 14. The captive exile hastening that he may be loose.
So that's why we scream. We got to get the hell up out of here. We scream death to Babylon, man. That's why we scream these things.
Yep, continuing on. And that he should not die in the pit.
We don't want to die in this strange land. We don't want to die in the hand of a weenie, man. We die in the hands of a cow.
Hey,
Die to the hands of a woman, a hater.
Yeah, because like you said, man, when you die in this system, man, every day, tens of thousands of Israelites die every day. I mean, you could say hundreds of thousands probably in this system die that just nobody cares about, nobody thinks about. You know how many homeless die every day in this system? How many people die in jail? How many people die in these hospitals? That it's like, it's no real like mourning or memorial. All Esau gonna do is be like, this is this. They're gonna state the moment of the deceased. They're gonna zip that bag up. Gonna have another man by the back of the bag. One. And that's one less nigga in the world. And we don't want to die that death.
That's right. That's a
No
horrible
glory.
That's a horrible death.
Like, here it is. Look at the death of Prince. Prince didn't get the fanfare that Mike got. And even with Mike, what did they do on this to his name after the fact? They threw his name in the mud. So 100 years from now, he's not gonna be remembered. You want to have a continual name in the earth too. So to die here, man, that is the worst, man. That's the worst. That's the worst. Finish that off the last part.
Nor that his bread should fail.
Hey, so we don't want to rely on this guy for anything at this point. Nothing, man. We don't want to run to this guy for any form of support. We want to rely on Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's why we desire to get out of this place, man. That's so that we may actually be free. But with that, I'm gonna let another brother blaze in the spirit.
Yeah, so changing gears a little bit through the spirit. All of these things are caused by, that we're going through now, are caused by the so-called Ish people, okay? Because they are in control of everything. They're in control of every single facet of your life. And they proclaim that they're the people of the Lord. And I was just watching a video today about Ish Rabbi, who was breaking down Ezekiel 37 and about the Valley of the Dry Bones. And I'm sitting up here listening to that breakdown, and I'm sitting up here like, these people are really convinced in their mind that they are the people of the Lord, even though when you look at their history, that they fit none of the descriptions of the prophecies. They fit none of them. The only prophecy that they fit is the prophecy of Esau.
And Amalek. And Amalek.
That's the only prophecy that they fit. So if a brother could hold Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, start at the top, and a brother could hold Proverbs, the 16th chapter, the 21st chapter, starting at the 16th verse for me, Baba Kashab. Start off at Ezekiel, Baba Kashab.
Hey, because you know what, with these little hats, Hitler didn't push you out of the land of Israel, man. Hitler didn't come through, Hitler didn't come south from Germany or whatever direction and head towards Israel and say, hey, we're going to attack y'all in y'all's land and we're going to Holocaust you here.
Right.
You weren't there.
You weren't there.
You weren't even there. You were up in Germany and got pushed out.
And y'all were always one body of people. Y'all were never scattered amongst the nations.
Like, come on, man.
You betrayed the Germans. The Germans took you in when the Soviets were persecuting you, and you betrayed the Germans to the British, man. You sold the Germans out, and Germans starved to death after World War I. because you assholes.
Hey.
You get mad because you're
Bro, if you can get that scripture in Job where it talks about they were driven forth from among men. Okay, because that's a good one, brother. You can start off with that.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 1. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones.
Now, what was that valley? What was that valley that was full of bones? That was Babylon, man. That was the country that we're in right fucking now.
Yeah, come on, man.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And the reason why, and the scripture's going to get into it, the reason why it was called the Valley of the Dry Bones, because we didn't know who we were as a people.
Yeah, that's
we were no people. A black is not a nationality.
No.
African American is not a nationality.
No, right.
You can look at the nationality chart and you see that none of these things are nationalities. Okay, there's no identification of us with with the people we identify with. We're black, we're African American, we're colored, right?
Yeah,
But we're not.
Panamanians.
We're everything else, but who we are, Hebrew Israelites.
I got precept. That's
Go
a
ahead.
part of him being dry bones because we didn't know who we were.
We didn't know who we were. You go ahead,
This is the book of Revelations, the 11th chapter and the 8th verse.
Spirit.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
You see? So when it talks about they laid in the streets as dead bodies in Sodom and Egypt. Sodom and Egypt is symbolization of oppression and slavery, and Sodom is symbolization of all the wickedness and evil that happened in the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Homosexuality,
It's vile.
man on man, woman on woman, the vileness of it, right?
That's it.
What's happening right here in America right now,
Yeah, that's America.
right? That's the same shit. Where are the majority of blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans? Where are we? Majority of us are. We're right here in Babylon. You see what I'm saying?
Which goes into, if I may add to you, brother, which goes into, which they'll never speak on, is the other 11 tribes, right? Can I get
Go ahead,
can I get one scripture?
You got it.
Go to Genesis the 49th chapter, and I want to say go to Ephraim, because the prophecy going in Genesis the 49th chapter with Ephraim speaks on us all coming over here to America.
No, we gonna get that though.
Yeah.
I think we gonna get that in.
So again, where are all these little hats that are over here in America in a dead mind state that don't know who the fuck they are? Please show me these millions and millions of little hats that don't know that they're little hats in America, just walking around through and finish. Me? I'm God shows it. I'm an Israeli. Show me them. Let's go ahead and get that. If you
That's a good question.
you got that in Genesis.
This is Genesis 49 and verse 22. It says Joseph is a fruitful dough.
Yeah, fruitful dough, because one of the marks that of an Ephraimite is they're very fertile, right? And it says a fruitful what?
Fruitful bow.
Bow, which goes into what is that? It's sons, right?
Yeah. This means,
Yep. Go ahead.
Even a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over the wall.
Whose branches run over the wall. That's them, because Ephraim was one of the first tribes of all the 12 tribes. Because at one point, like you said, when this valley of dry bones was being established, aka America, there was only really Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, a little bit of Issachar, Gad and Reuben was, still here, but really it was Gad, Reuben, and Issachar was here.
yeah.
And then from 1492 to 1620, when he brought the the southern kingdom over here, there was no Zebulon wasn't here.
They asked us in South America.
Zebulon was down there in Dominican Republic. Asher was still down there in South America. Naphtali, all those tribes, they weren't here yet.
That was in South America.
Yeah, that wasn't until roughly the 1900s, after World War I, World War II. That's when you started seeing all these other tribes migrate here. Okay?
Yeah, because of the Panama Canal, Esau put thousands of individuals to death just trying to get their land so he can run that canal through there, and a lot of them fled up towards Mexico and North America.
That's why you have
Get
now,
out of this way.
they're using that as an excuse to say all of these migrants coming from Venezuela through Central America through Mexico. All right? But that was already in motion thousands of years ago. All right, keep going, brother.
God, the archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him. And
Yeah, that's the Spanish conquistadors. All right, but that was the point. The point was is that Ephraim was one of the first tribes, as it said, who's what is it? Bows. What did it say again? His
fruitful bow.
that went over the wall.
Con.
Yeah, read it again real quick.
Con. Joseph is a fruitful bow,
Mm-hmm.
even a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over the wall.
Yeah, the branches represent your sons. If you go into it, I believe it's Bun right there. I believe Bo is the daughters, but then when you go into it right there, it's Bun, which is a fruitful, which they are. There's a lot of Ephraimites or Puerto Ricans in Florida, a lot in New York, really everywhere. Georgia, everywhere. You know. But I want to throw that in there. You got it, bro. Back with your driver.
Finish up with that, Baba.
Okay, come. Verse 2, and caused me to pass them by round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry.
Very dry. That means we were very lost. There was a lot of us here. And the brother just eloquently broke that down, how Ephraim, how he came over here. You also had Manasseh, you also had Gad, you had Reuben, Naphtali, you had Zebulun, Issachar, and you had the northern tribe that came over here into America.
We're all here.
The Americans, they were all here, and they were all lost. Nobody knew that they were Israelites. Continue on, Baba Kishah.
Okay, can I get this?
Go ahead.
This is Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, said the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. So that famine, that's what we was in for a long period of time.
For a long time. Now we about to go back into it.
Because the Lord said, drink out of our own sinister, which is a fountain, water fountain.
Go ahead.
Verse 3, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live?
So he asking them, can these bones live? Can these dry bones, these lost people, can they come back to life? Go ahead,
And I answer, O Lord, power thou knowest. Again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord power unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live.
Now, when did this happen? When in Babylon did somebody come and start talking that we were the true people of the Lord? 1969.
Where are the small hats doing that? Where are the small hats on the street preaching, identifying the tribes of Israel, giving biblical prophecy?
Where's King David?
That's
Hosea 3.
we got a lot of questions.
Yeah, a lot of questions, right? First and foremost, and we're going to get into it because we're going to bring out all these precepts. When were you scattered? When did you forget who you were, right?
And to all captivities, to all nations.
And to all nations, right? And when were you prophesied to come back to your nationality? When did it happen? According to your own scholars and your own knowledge, you've always known who you were. You've always known that, right? But here in America, only in the last 60, 70 years or so have we discovered who we are. You got it, I continue.
Fulfilling prophecy.
Fulfilling the prophecy.
Fulfilling
You're
prophecy.
sitting there talking about this is the stuff that's happening over here in Ezekiel. This is the fulfillment of Ezekiel 37 to 38. How? How is that the fulfillment of that?
You know, like you said earlier, Esau, y'all about to fulfill some heavy, shameful prophecies, man, that you don't even realize. You're setting yourself up, what does scripture say? Thy foreskin shall be uncovered. Because what we're about to witness is that the lies that you pushed on the earth, everybody just goes along with it. They're the chosen people. Yeah. We're all Gentiles. Yeah, right. Don't question it. They're God's chosen people. Okay. Where's God at now? Shouldn't we all be witnessing some divine intervention? Shouldn't God be protecting his people in his land?
Right.
Yeah. What's his name?
Shouldn't we see these miraculous, like, oh, yo, we just seen this.
Yeah, there's no grand interest in the Lord coming through the maker of all
They're just
things.
prime ministers and fucking...
And missiles.
And political parties. Like, nigga, no.
No, that's not it,
That's
man.
not what this prophecy is talking about.
Nah. Go ahead,
Verse 6.
Iron domes and shit. Get the fuck out of
And
here.
I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring upon flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live.
Now, what is that talking about? What is that talking about? How is it that him just prophesying into the bones is making them come back to life? What are the bones receiving that's causing them to come back to life?
And all this is metaphorically speaking.
And it's metaphorically speaking.
But it's a literal sense to it.
And it's the law. It's the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, our heritage that we lost. That was what was being taught to the Israelites. To stop cutting your damn beard, to stop eating pork, to stop committing adultery, to serve the Lord with all your might, heart, and strength. Okay? To do good, you know?
To pray,
to fast, to teach the Lord's law. That's what this was talking about. This wasn't talking about the shit that they talking about over there in Israel, while y'all giving gay parades in Tel Aviv.
Well, the scripture says, "In Jerusalem should be trodden down by the Gentiles
We brought that
until
earlier.
the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled."
You see?
That's what's taking place now.
That's what's taking place now. The Jerusalem is being trodden down because these devils are doing everything that's adverse to the law of the Lord. Everything that's contrast to the law of the Lord. That's what they're doing over there. And then what else they're doing is they're trying to perpetuate this throughout the world. They're trying to put their homosexual garbage in schools and pedophilia in schools. They're putting pork and different type of things in the food supply that we eat. They're teaching the men to be effeminate. They're teaching the women to be masculine. They're doing this shit. This is coming from that same empire. The scriptures talk about how when Israel come back into power, the world is going to go to him that calls himself a Jew to be taught the laws of the Lord. Obadiah 1 and 2 says, "Thou art greatly despised." The Lord has made them small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Everybody hates y'all. Y'all history is coming back clean.
Hey, look at the world right now. There's a major pro-Palestine march in London right now. It's huge.
All throughout the Middle East.
All throughout the world.
Yeah.
Okay, in New York right now, in New York, you have major pro-Palestine protests because everybody sees that, yo, you really are the troublemaker of the world, man.
You are.
That's the new trend. The brother said it weeks back. We've made it cool to call this guy out, and the new trend the Lord is putting back on these nations is the trendiest thing is to rebel against Esau. Let's ride and rebel against Esau. You know, to his own demise.
You got it. I'm going to bring it up.
I got a precept because the brother was speaking as to how are these bones going to live? This is John 6 and 63. It is the spirit that quickens, because once we got this word, we got the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Hey, everything came back together.
Man, the world changed, man.
It did.
That's
It's the spirit.
That's what the term quicker, because people might not know what quicker means. That quicker means to revive, bring to life.
The scriptures say that we would, just like to our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, where he was in the grave, he was in that sepulcher for what? 3 days? The same thing with us. On the third day, the Lord would raise us up. Well, we're in that. We're
3.5 days.
We're being risen up as well. So again, where is this happening with these little hats, man? Your face is and listen, anywhere there's a bad prophecy, that's you. Anything dealing with good, that ain't you.
That ain't you.
Okay? Because look at how much the world has changed since like you said, the word came back into the world 69?
Yep.
Look how much this word has changed the world and the dynamics of everything. We've seen it. We've been a part of it.
Yeah, we're part of this wave.
Even the last 5 to 6 to 7 years, it's changed astronomically.
Come on, man.
And you got celebrities shouting out the Hebrew Israelites. Where are the Hebrew
Yeah.
Israelites?
It's the largest growing religion in America. Hebrew Israelites is the largest growing religion. Now, most of those guys don't have the 100% truth. That's the man of the great millstone. But the point being,
The spirit itself.
the spirit itself is working
Yeah,
on this.
because those spiritual building blocks. Hey, we're all lively stones of the Lord.
Yeah, man.
You know, some gonna be cast to the side, but hey, once it's going up. Lord willing, we all go up on this wall, man. You know?
That's real.
That's why what's the kind of time? Okay, back to the precept. This is John 6 and 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
That's right. You see, that's why everybody can't get this, because their spirit does not resonate with the spirit of truth.
That's it, man.
You know what I'm saying? You resonate with the spirit of death, which is Esau's spirit. This is why you can't get this when we come out in the highways and the byways and we tell you these things, because you're not resonating. That's why the scriptures say, the Spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are children of the Most High.
Yeah, come on, man.
That's why the Spirit says that. Because if your spirit don't resonate with this truth, you are not of the Most High.
That's right.
That's just, it's clear, it's period, point blank.
Yeah.
If you can't hear this truth, if you can't say, well, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. You know what, I need to apply that to my life. If you're not saying that within yourself, then, hey, this truth ain't for you, man.
Well, they ain't got the breath.
You ain't got the breath of life. That's what we're going into right now.
They dead while they live.
You got it up. Oh, go
Right.
ahead, bring that precept out.
The brother was mentioning, it's heavy that you mentioned that, bro, because the precept I got, man, because Esau's spirit don't match with the Israelites in the scriptures, bro. You know,
Yeah.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 13. He said he professed to have the knowledge of the Most High and calling himself the child of the Lord. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold. For his life is not like other men, his ways are of another fashion.
What the elite is saying about, that's what the elect of Esau's people is saying towards us. They're speaking when they watch the prophets. We're made to reprove them. We consider him careful.
We are. Verse 16, it says, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as the faithfulness. He pronounces the end of the just to be blessed.
You see that? So he says that we're the counterfeits.
That's what he said.
That's what he says. He says that we're the counterfeits, but we fit all the prophecies.
Yeah.
We're the ones that were scattered. We're the ones that adopted a byword.
Yeah,
We were called proverbs and bywords. Niggas, spicks, wetbacks, tontos, African American, colored, anything but what we are.
That's right.
You know, we adopted that. We were the ones that were scattered among all nations. We were the ones that were sold to nations, not for our destruction, but to be reproved. We went through that. We were the ones that went through chattel slavery. The Native Americans were the ones that were wiped out on their own land. You know, all this stuff happened to our people. When did this shit happen to y'all?
Come on, man.
When did it happen to the small hats? You know, all y'all do, y'all got what we call the 1948ers, the Balfour Declaration. Y'all shit was given to y'all, and guess what y'all did? Y'all didn't go into the land and take it peaceably. Y'all did it the way Esau do it. Classic Esau, by the sword.
But when you go into the histories, even you look into it a little bit more. Esau made a deal with the Palestinians to help go to war with the individuals that was in the Turks.
Right.
Yep, you're right, the water. That to go against the Turks for him. So he promised that the Gaza Strip. He promised that land to him, and after he double crossed him. After they pushed the Turks and everything back, he claimed the land for himself. They was like, yo, what happened to this promised land? It's, hey, man, scratch all that, man. This is for us.
Yeah.
And now they warring. They've been warring ever since.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, little hats where the scriptures say, never trust thy enemy. That's talking about you.
And classic Esau, what did he do with the Native Americans? Well, we're going to sign this treaty, and you're going to have this, and you're going to be comfortable in your land, persons, and effects, and all of this good stuff. And then the next day they come and rob you and rape your women.
Hey, well, can I get to back the brother? Get Genesis 25. We're gonna talk all this about Esau and not talk about Esau.
Yeah.
You know, because see, like you said, he looks at us like a counterfeit, but really through the spirit, you can't fake the fact that you came out first, boy.
Yeah.
You're the eldest.
The big brother.
You the big brother. So prophecy was fulfilled by you were the first one, and it said what? That Jacob shall hold his heel.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what is matter of fact? Not Genesis 25. Or you could go to Genesis about his blessing. Just go straight to the point with his blessing.
27.
27 and
27 and like, yeah.
Because you did the same thing to the Hawaiians. That's why we were just basically, what was a couple months ago praying for Maui. You've taken their land. Everything that you've done this. You've taken the Hawaiians' land. You've taken the Gadites' land. You've taken them land. You take the land from us as a whole over there in the land of Israel. But you get y'all talking about that Palestinian aspect of it. All right.
The scripture said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The Lord anointed you to be able to take the land from the other nations.
That's why you do it with such ease, man. It's like, as the scriptures say, smoother than butter, man. It's like a hot knife through butter the way you just take shit.
He was anointed going to with the sword. That's why he had the cannon, he had the Gatling gun, he had the power of the deception, the power of the financial system. It's the Edomites.
You got that, brother? Go ahead with it.
Fine. This is Genesis chapter 27 and verse 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet sore scarce.
Yeah, this is what we were saying earlier. That this right here. Listen, Esau still. Listen, Esau pride still won't let him get over. He can't get over this. That's why everybody's thinking about, oh, you know, Esau is dealing with pride right now, dealing with over there in that land of Israel with the Palestinians, man. All right. The very idea of them attacking him is enough for him to blow that shit up.
Yeah.
His pride won't take that hit.
But look, if I could say,
Of course.
it's been proven, right? Because I've actually looked into this. I did a lesson about it. That they say that when a terrorist attack happens over in Israel, right? It takes no more than 6 minutes for the military to respond to that. They said that it was like 60s. I can't remember the exact number, but almost 80,000 troops that was moved to the West Bank of Israel hours before that incident happened, and then they said that nobody responded for at least 4 hours. Now they have a history of responding within 6 minutes. Now this is 4 hours. Now Esau has a history of what we call problem, reaction, solution. Right? They create the problem, then they create the blame, they react, and then they come up with the solution to it. Right? And the solution is ultimately they want the whole land. They want it all. Okay? Because they've been pushing back the residences of Palestine since 1948. Okay, they mean acquiring more and more land.
This is really the last bit.
Yeah, this is the last bit. So now they said I just watched a clip today that said they bombed in Gaza. They have sent more missiles over in Gaza in the last 24 hours than they did when the U.S. bombed Iraq for a whole year.
Crazy.
Crazy. And they said it is a highly populated area.
That's too many people.
That's why right now, that 24-hour warning that they gave them people over there to get out of that city. It expired hours ago. So technically speaking, knowing this devil for who he is, this is him in his mind. We're still having mercy on you. You get what I'm saying? Like, we didn't bomb you exactly at the 24-hour mark. So if you still there 3 hours, that's just mercy. Mercy. A day go by, it's still mercy in their mind. But they're gonna, like you said, they're gonna lay that whole land flat just out of straight pride.
It's a siege. They can't even. Them Edomites is lying. They can't get out. They're roadblocks. If the people of Gaza really want to get out, guess what the Israeli soldiers are gonna do? They're gonna kill them and tell them to turn around.
Yeah, because they can't go through Egypt.
And they can't go through Egypt, and the other side is the sea. So they're in the siege, man. He's a liar.
Nigga, you got your backs against the wall, buddy.
And then during the establishment, during the establishment of the Israelite state, the Israelites had a better fortified army, better military, they had better organization, and they had backing from all of the NATO nation, the League of Nations at that time. They had backing from all of them, right, at that time. Palestine didn't have none of that shit. They was just the people living on the land who didn't have any clue what was going on.
Riding camels and shit.
Didn't even know what the fuck was going on.
And all of a sudden you get these damn Edomites, these Amalekites from another nation that just came out of nowhere and say, we about to take y'all land.
We here.
You know, you can continue on.
Keep going.
I got a precept too.
Continuing on, verse 30, it says, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting.
That motherfucker. That's what Esau was saying. Keep going. He was hot. He's still hot. This is why he about to bring all this devastation on the earth. Keep going.
And he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me.
Skip down to verse 2.
Jumping down.
Just go straight to Esau's blessing.
The blessing and how he hated his brother.
Yeah. But that's good history.
Verse 34, it says, when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father.
If I can say too, that just shows the nature of Esau. He can't take his punishment as a man. Like, wait a minute, I sold my birthright, okay? Which this was the birthright. The kingdom was the birthright.
Yeah.
He did not Yaquab didn't. He supplanted him when he sold him the pottage. That was when the supplant happened, and the Lord honored it right here.
It was a fair deal.
It was a fair deal. You sold your birthright. This is why the Lord hated you. So now, when you said, when you found out the blessing was given to your brother, you crying like a little bitch. And what do Esau do right now? Anytime something happened to where he feels like he's been treated unfairly when it's really fair, they just hate me. Cry like a little bitch.
Stop Jewish hate.
And here it is. Here it is. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans have been going through impoverished BS for the last 60, 70, 80 years. Esau been experiencing it for the last year, maybe a couple of months, and you got TikTok rents.
I would say too, man. Really, man. Spiritually, it was never really his in
the first place,
Yeah.
right?
Because really, when they was fighting in the womb,
It was already
It
established.
was already said it was going to be given into Jacob.
That's right.
That's why he came, like we were reading, you was reading in Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. He says we're a counterfeit, but you can't counterfeit the fact that in Genesis, the 25th chapter, you came out first.
That's right.
The eldest shall serve the youngest. You can't get around that. Before you even went into the field and was hungry, it was already established that the eldest shall serve the youngest. And that's how you, hey man, you really, I'm trying to make sure my words is right. Hey man, really you NOI, you Muslim niggas, man. Really, just go to the Middle East and get ready for war, man. Go fight some war, all right? Because you break down that scripture completely wrong, saying that that we're Esau. See, them the Nation of Islam, they teach that we're Esau.
wow.
We're serving because we're serving.
Yeah.
No, nigga, this is biblical prophecy.
That's what happens when you take bags.
That's what you did. Come on, man.
When you take bags, Mr. Farrakhan did say that. He said the whites in America are the real Israelites. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
They're Edomites. What are you talking about?
No, they're not.
And you're not from Ishmael, nigga.
And what the scripture said, continue on.
jump
I
down
got
to
you.
verse 38.
Did you already read where it says that he should be given the fatness of the earth? Go ahead and read that out.
Jump down to verse 38, and it says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
Who lives in the best places? Who don't you be watching like TikToks and watching IG, and you have these Edomites showing these lavish beaches and places that you think like, damn, I would love to go there, but you know damn well you can't get there. You know what I'm saying? Don't when you ride around, don't it just kind of upset you a little bit when you ride around Edomite neighborhoods and you're like, damn man, look at this.
But take it further. You got to take it further, brother. We got to poke at them. You got to take it further. Who not only lives in the fatness of the fatness, but who actually lives in the fattiest of the fattiest?
Small hats.
Them small hats.
Them small
They're like,
hats.
think about this shit that we having we're the ones that's counterfeit. But not only do you Edomites, like you said, you're 100% right. You Edomites, you live in the fatness of the fat. But really, them little hats, they live in the fattiest of the fattiest parts, man. Like if Esau live in a good part, they live in a great part.
That's right.
They control the natural resources.
Hey.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Slaki. Who owns, like the brother's saying, they control the natural resources. Who owns BlackRock and Vanguard?
Small hats.
They control hundreds of trillions of dollars. Well, they say on the books they say 10 trillion.
Yeah,
but we
come
know
on.
Esau fudged the numbers. We know he owned more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they own, and then they don't even talk about Fidelity. Fidelity is also part of that trio, which owns trillions of dollars of wealth throughout the earth. They own the food supply. They own manufacturing. They own clothing. They own banking. They own all this shit, man.
They control trade
Even
routes.
mainstream media.
They control everything.
Control everything.
So how are they not living in the fattiest of the fatness that the brother's talking about? The
fattiest.
They swimming like they in the fattiest part. They get to the fat part, and that's the barrier. They're like, nah, this is too deep.
That's not good enough.
That's not good enough, man. Let me swim back to the fat, to the deep fat, that visceral fat.
Yeah, real shit.
Oh, I got you. Let me finish this, and I got you.
That's real.
Continuing on, it says, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live.
All right, this is one of the biggest points that I want to bring out. How long have we been at war in this world? Who controls the nature of this world? Who controls it? Is it not these Amalekites? And don't they say all wars are bankers' wars? Who controls the banks? They do. So when we go to war, it's by their design.
Yeah, them red shields, because like we were saying, the fattiest of the fat. When you go look at, like, what's his name, Lord Rothschild. Yeah, when you go look at how they live, man, they don't live. They live in the best parts of France and Switzerland. Like, they're not even thinking about, oh, I live in North Druid Hills.
They don't even got grocery stores.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
They got crops from their own land.
Right.
There's Edomites that don't live. Like, think about it. As great as Jeff Bezos' riches is and Elon Musk, it's peanuts in comparison to the red coats or the red shields.
Red shields, yeah. Man.
They really, like I was gonna say, because really they profit off both sides, man. When they come to war, they profit off both sides, man. So it really don't matter. They winning, regardless, man, because they gaining all the resources and everything else from off these wars, man.
Crazy.
Right. And that was the point that I wanted to bring out. That not only does he live in the fattiest to the fat, but he lives by the sword. When you go into was it Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, the first verse says, "Woe to him that deal treacherously, and they deal not treacherously with them.
Amen.
Woe to him that spoiled and was not spoiled. When thou cease to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. And when thou cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled." Roughly paraphrasing. Esau has been spoiling and dealing treacherously since he came into power. There's never a time where he actually honored something that he said he was going to do. When can you name and say this devil, okay, well, this devil actually honored that shit? You know?
You would stand up in that situation.
Yeah, when
You know?
Edomites don't honor agreements and so that's what war comes about.
Yeah.
And what they say, since America been in power, we only experienced 12 years of
About
peace.
12
I believe.
years, yeah.
12 years of peace. So we've been in war the whole time. Well, it says that you're going to live by the sword. Is that not living by the sword, to be in a constant state of war?
And that's just the American aspect you're speaking about. You can't forget about America came out of Great Britain and how many wars that Great Britain fought and was a part of. Great Britain, they said what? The sun never sets on the British what did it say?
British Empire.
On the British Empire. You know how crazy that is? The sun moves from the east to the west of the sky, and it never sets on the lands that Esau has conquered.
It was just a little bit more.
Spaniards.
Spain.
You be sleeping on France.
Yeah,
We forgot
France,
about France, man.
Look what's going on now in Niger. You know
Niggas they control, I'm gonna let you get it. They control the entire Sahel. People, they can't see, they looking for something right in front of them.
Yeah.
The French control the entire Sahel region through the banking industry. Like 14 African countries, banking industry is controlled by France, and half of their gold reserves.
Right
is in
until
the French.
right now.
Right now.
Like still right now.
Yes.
And if you read the contract, I believe when they gave African nations their independence, right there in the contract, it said that we get to control your banking industry. We get to control your gold. We get to control all deposits. How the hell is that independence when you have another country controlling your money?
Yeah.
You know? So
That's
Esau's
crazy.
a damn devil, man.
That's his blessing.
You know? You can continue
This devil
on.
wants his blessing and our blessing, man. And he want to leave us double cursed.
Yeah. My blessing too.
God damn.
Continuing on, Genesis 27 in verse 40, it says, "And by thy sword shalt thou live, and serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, and thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck." And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, "The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob."
And bro, you can follow up with that precept
Ezekiel 35.
because he had a perpetual hatred.
Oh, yeah, I got
you. Yeah, because he didn't do it then. He didn't slay Jacob then, but he's slaying Jacob now because that was something that was going to happen in the future. Okay?
Yeah.
That was something that was going to happen in the future. Esau had to establish himself. Think about the Renaissance when Esau came back into power, right? What exactly would he do after that? He started doing this shit. He started doing the things that he do. Went over to the West Bank of Africa, started taking slaves, came over here to the Americas, punished the Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? Put what we know as Brazilians, we put them into the cane industry. Took people over there to Europe. Took Jake over there to to the Arab countries. He scattered us all across the nations. He did that shit. Okay. Bring that out. What you got?
This is the book of the prophet Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, and the 5th verse. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
You see? Oh, you know what, Esau? I'm gonna give you what you like. You don't want blood? You love blood? You love bathing in blood? And
You love war?
And you love war? Well, I'm gonna give you what you like. Since you ain't hated blood, I'm gonna give it to you. You know? And you ain't gonna like it when I give it to you. And that's what the Lord is saying.
This is how we know it's talking about Esau. In verse 7, it says, thus will I make Mount Seir, which Mount Seir is a symbolic representation of the Edomite nation. It's just like Mount Zion is a representation of the nation of Israel. It says, thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and will cut off from him that passeth out, and him that returneth, and I will fill his mountains, meaning his governments, with his slain man. In thy hills and in thy valleys and in thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword.
You know what that is? That's World War III.
That's right.
Yeah. That's really Armageddon right there.
Yeah.
Because this Armageddon war is basically a war of Esau. That's why we really, everybody talking about stand tall for these people. Man, fuck all of this, man. It's an Edomite versus it's Esau versus Esau.
Yeah.
That's what World War III is. So like what you said, when it's reading and it's speaking about all the bloodshed and all of that, and that's really going into that World War III, because it's going to be what? Russia versus America, which is just an Edomite versus an Edomite state. That's all it is.
That's why it says, he says, I will make thee, in verse 9, I will make thee perpetual desolations.
Yeah.
The Edomite infrastructure has not been made a perpetual desolation yet. Rome fell, but guess what? The deadly wound was healed.
You can still go to Rome.
Yeah, you go Rome, kick it, drink fucking wine and shit. You know, people paying taxes and shit over there.
Yeah.
That's not gonna take place in America. This place is gonna be destroyed.
The Lord said that he would not fill the world with cities anymore. Right. This dude about to be through, man. And then we're coming to the climax of this. Right now we're entering into the climax of Esau's rulership. This is the high point. Yeah, it's some scary times, but if you're a man of the Lord, you're like, man, these are liberating times too, man. You know, we're like, man, we about to be liberated from this devil, and we're looking forward to this shit. We don't want this garbage anymore. This world is trash, man.
So, and through the Spirit, there's nothing new under the sun. So every kingdom had a peak,
Yeah, man.
a height that they reached. And now they just on a down spirit.
Go down.
We had it, everybody had
Yeah.
it, but this time, this shit gonna be forever, man.
You think about this is the Lord's theater.
Yeah.
War, what is it? Theaters of war.
Yeah.
And then when you deal with theatrics and movies, like you said, you have the part where the movie starts out and you're like, what the hell is going on? And it's got to build up, and then it peaks. And then, like you said, then it's that rush down the hill, and this is where we at. We're coming down the hill, man.
Yeah. That shit moving faster and faster.
Yes, sir.
You got it out.
This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 6. And it says, Revelation chapter 20, verse 6. No, so like verse 7. And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Yeah, so after the 1,000 years of after the 1,000 years of Esau being put out of the ruler seat, because after the Roman Empire time, Esau was really thrown out of his ruler power. His blessing was ended. The same thing is going to happen in this time. Because he was hidden for a minute, but then he started brushing the shoulders of the monarchies and whatnot with our people through secular history.
Yep.
Esau got good with the noble family. You know how Jake is.
Being that cunning hunter he is.
Yeah, that cunning hunter. Yeah, and the scriptures mention that it's not Second Ezra, but the Apocrypha too. I think the book of Ecclesiastes about having a man near thy throne and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's how Esau got it in, and Esau, that's how he got into power too.
He was in the ear when you got to think about Haman. Haman. He was in the ear with Xerxes. He was in the ear. He was like, he had power.
And Xerxes was shocked that it was him that had some type of plot against Israel.
Yeah, and that's how that's in Esau. We're in that same time again too.
Yep.
You're gonna find yourself in your own, as the scriptures say, in your own pit.
Yep. That's how he got into power. That's how he got the keys of hell. That's the scriptures that said he should go out and deceive the whole earth That's what he's doing with this whole Israel and Palestine war.
Yeah.
Which many wars he already. Hey, man, I gotta bring this out too, man.
Yeah.
But World War I, they had reels, so ain't nothing new under the sun. They got reels now with YouTube and social media.
That's
they had
real.
reels on propaganda, the war that was at stake in World War I.
That's
Check
real.
that out, yo.
Had Donald Duck as Hitler.
Yeah.
That was propaganda. Like
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
propaganda. Like you said,
Cartoon
that's real. When you go into it, the military, they would sit the soldiers down in the theater. That's where theater comes from.
Yeah.
Actually,
The military.
before they gave movie theaters to the general public, the military would sit you down in those movie theaters, and they would have you would be able to speak on that better than me, but they would have the soldiers sit, and they would give you this propaganda of, oh, them Germans, man, they're vile, and them, they want to eat your babies and rape your women and
They indoctrinated
get you riled up.
Yeah,
you know?
they indoctrinated them. They
Yeah.
put them in a dark room, and they had the screen.
360 degrees of sound hitting your tater.
Yeah, but he did it. He used it not to military minded. I mean, he did it not to warn the people like he did his soldiers to focus in
Yeah.
on the enemy. He's doing it to really put the veil over people. Isaiah 25
That
and
media.
7.
That media. Yeah. That
Yeah.
media.
He's a deceiver.
That's what
This
he's
is
going.
Satan.
That's what the scripture said. The devil will come down on you having great wrath, because he know he have but a short time. He's going to persecute us with that propaganda.
Whenever you want to, it's on you. Whenever you want to finish.
Finish up that Ezekiel.
Okay, I got it.
That Ezekiel 30.
Okay, come. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 8. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus said the Lord, power come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live.
You see that? And that's what you see right now. You see the men of the Lord standing, professing the Lord's word to the world and standing boldly.
Yeah.
That's what that's talking about. Okay? So all this shit that these damn rabbis, these small heads are talking about, it doesn't even go with scriptures. Bring out that
That's real.
Proverbs, I believe it's 21 and 16, because this backs it up right here.
This is Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way and of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
And that's where we were. We were in the congregation of the dead, man. That's where we were. As Israelites, we were in the congregation of the dead, okay? That's why we didn't have any law, any understanding in us, okay? That's why we were dry bones, because we were in the congregation of the dead. We were dead, man. 9 and 10. Okay, right? So that's where we were. And why were we like that? Bring out that Proverbs 9 and 10, Baba Kashai.
This is Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding.
You see that? We didn't have the fear of the Lord, and we didn't have the knowledge of the holy. So where does that place us? In the congregation of the dead.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? The scriptures clearly say that. But you got these Amalekites professing that they the people, but none of this shit apply to them. Salakia not saying shit, but none of these scriptures apply to them. You know? None of this stuff apply to them. They didn't forget who they were. They weren't in the congregation of the dead. They didn't have a man come out of in 1969 come prophesy saying bones live by the name of Abba Bivens. And this thing has progressed along since then.
Yeah, and the bones goes into bone of bone and flesh of flesh, going into Israelites, meaning his people.
That's right.
Synonymous. It wasn't talking about just any type of bones.
You know?
Got it.
And these Amalekites will sit there and proclaim that they the people, and y'all not the people of the Lord, man. Y'all don't fit the description.
Bro, you should be embarrassed, bro.
You
That's
know?
why I said it's gonna get. That's why scriptures say that thy foreskin make bare. The Lord is gonna expose you real bad. Like it's like you watch these movies back in the '90s. If you're a certain age, and they have the character who's really like Cinderella, right? The story of Cinderella, where basically you're just a regular person, and then you put on, you're in a rental car, or for the love of money, like Nick Cannon. Like you're a cool kid for a second, and then you get exposed. They're like, hey, he's really just a bitch ass nigga. We thought he was cool. He's really a lame ass nigga. Let's laugh at this guy. That's what's about to happen to you small hats.
Right.
You're about to really be exposed for just being like, because really, lo and behold, you act like you shouldn't receive hate, but really you don't receive enough hate.
Yeah, you don't.
Really, you don't receive enough hate because really you are the basis of men. You're the lowest. See, right now everybody glorifies like I stand with them, man. I stand. They're the people, and then they're gonna be like, oh shit, like yo, this guy really ain't shit. You're really the low. You're. If there's 18 nations, the Lord's gonna put you at 19 very soon, man.
It's not gonna be politically correct or cool to join hands with the Amalekites.
Yeah, no.
You know,
All of these other nations, because like we said, we focus in on Esau, but really through the spirit, there's that top tier of Esau, which is you Amalekites. That's really where the pure hate of the Lord, because the scriptures say what? That the Lord shall go to war with you Amalekites from generation to generation. Like the Lord really got a different, like he hates Esau.
Yes, sir.
But when it comes to you little hats, the hate is it's like extra. It's like the icing and this cherry on the top hate. Extra credit, yeah, like extra hate.
You got to bring that up. Because okay, so now I want to switch gears a little bit because I want to bring out another prophecy that they say they fulfilled and they didn't.
Right.
So now we're gonna go to Ezekiel. Bring that up. Ezekiel 20 and 33. Bobby Kashana.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, verse 33. As I live, said the Lord power, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with very power out will I rule over you.
Okay. Continue.
It's like verse 34. And I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered.
Hold up. Bring that part one more time. I'm gonna bring you out of where?
Out of the countries wherein you were scattered.
Countries.
Uh-oh.
Plural. Countries where you were scattered. More than one, more than two, more than three, all over the earth.
Four corners.
Four corners of the earth.
not Delta Airlines.
You know?
Southwest.
Y'all came from one place and came over to the nation of Israel. Okay? We were scattered all over the earth. So how do y'all fit that prophecy?
Right.
How do y'all, I'm trying to understand. The Lord said, countries. He said, I will gather you. Not there's a declaration that's being signed and y'all just waiting collectively for y'all armies to go and kill these people that are in Palestine and push them off their land so you can go and occupy it. That's not what that says.
Yeah.
Who are the Rothschilds? Did it say the Rothschilds should sign the declaration petition that Balfour tried to petition to the Rothschilds?
The Red Child.
Yeah, the Red Childs.
Red
No,
Shield.
The
But
red
it did
shields.
say the earth is given to the hands of the wicked.
That's right.
Esau's the end of the world.
That's right.
So he had that power to sign off on it. Verse
Exactly.
35, and I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face.
And the wilderness of the people is us being scattered among all the nations of the earth. And we got to deal with their garbage, man. And the Lord is sitting up here pleading with us, telling us to come back. He's leaving us little hints. He's telling y'all what to do, but y'all don't want to do it. Is there any more on that?
Verse 36, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, said the Lord power.
You see that? So just like the Lord did us in Egypt, that's how he's doing us here in this land.
Yeah, the Lord went to Pharaoh with Moses and Aaron.
That's right.
And he told him to let his people go. The so-called Jews, they didn't do that in regard of the Balfour Declaration.
No, they didn't do
Because
that.
that means that the Rothschild was the new modern-day Pharaoh.
This was a decisive plan to say, well, you know what?
He had the power
We're going
to
to establish they said we're going to establish a Jewish state in Palestine. That wasn't, oh, we're going to bring the people that were once occupied in that land back to that land. No, we're going to establish a Jewish state. Well, what about the other 10 tribes?
Right.
What about Naphtali? What about Simeon? What about Issachar? What about Zebulun? What about Asher? What about Reuben? What about Gad? What about all them?
Right.
You don't even talk about the tribe of Levi, okay? You only talk about the Jew, which comes from Judah. You don't talk about the tribe of Benjamin.
And they never even call themselves Judites. They're Israelis and
Exactly.
Jewish.
Means an inhabitant of Israel.
Yeah.
So by your own mouth, you profess not to be the people. But yet you got the whole world deceived into thinking that you are. You know, if all nations shall come against Israel. Let me tell you something. All nations have already come against Israel. That's why we at the bottom.
And that's why, and you know what? That's why Esau got to get it. Like right now, even with them Israelis, they're looking to cut the internet over there.
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna happen here, man. Because see, it's coming down to the pipeline where people are looking at things. They're seeing what's happening in the world. The scriptures say what? That the Lord shall pour out his spirit upon all flesh. And they're starting to look at this world and they're like, wait a minute, like you said, listen, if you want to do something in your private time when you're dealing with the scriptures, every scripture you read, start to question how do they fit it. Every scripture. Every scripture, just read it. How does this fit them? And you're going to find out it don't fit them. And that's why they got to cut this internet, because they don't want to deal with us, man. See, you want to deal with your 501c3 Israelite camps, because why? They got a gag order and they're not going to really bring it to you. They want to, God hates them, but we don't. No, we hate you.
They fund money into their churches, just like they fund Hamas. They fund Hamas
Ooh.
because Hamas is not a fucking threat. They want a boogeyman so they can go.
Yep.
It's hard for them to politicize and overcoming that land through, political reforms and things of that nature. They got to come with the sword. That's why they fund Hamas. And they fund these other Israelite groups.
And they did it with media too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they always got to have a boogeyman. The war on terror, the war on drugs. It always has to be an invisible enemy. I'll bring out this last precept and then go ahead and step
And
out.
IUIC didn't they identify themselves a while back as Islam? Aren't they registered as an Islamic group?
Paperwork.
In their paperwork, they're actually an Islamic group.
Yes.
See, all this shit is starting to come together, like you said. Really, IUIC, you're just a nigga version of Hamas, man.
They are.
Marching and shit.
Yeah.
Getting permission now. These niggas getting permission to march. They not just marching.
Yeah.
Well, you got to get permission to march in these streets. You
all
got to get a permit.
Yeah.
You got to get a permit to march.
Permitted.
That's why they have, police escorts, man. When you do certain stuff like that, you gotta have police escort. You gotta have permits, as the brothers mentioned.
You gotta stop red lights and shit.
Right. Just to shut down that whole block in that street, man. All right, you can't just have niggas marching down the street, man. Hey, Esau come.
Just like how the hell did Hamas get? Just like that, how the hell did Hamas get into the most? Listen, man. When it comes to the defense systems, man, Israel is like a Kawhi Leonard mixed with Dennis Rodman mixed with some other top defensive individuals of all time, man. Israel's defense is ain't no hole. They got like the top defensive system in the world.
Right.
So a bunch of sand niggas just on some go-karts with fucking parachutes on it, just we're coming in.
Coming down, just shoot.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
It's got 11 all over again.
Even from the geographic terrain of Israel, it only take you about 2.5 to 3 hours to get any place from south to west, north to south to north, east to west. So a rapid response, it shouldn't have taken what you said, 4 to 6 hours.
Come on, man.
It shouldn't have taken that goddamn long. You see, you should have had a unit already there in 2.5 hours.
That's going to show you that it's a part of Esau's plan, his master plan. You go ahead and bring that out. And I'll step back.
This is Jeremiah 31 and verse 8. It says, "Behold, I will bring them from the north country."
Hold up. What country?
The north country.
He said, say that one more time. I'll bring you from where?
Behold, I will bring them from the north country.
What country do we currently reside in?
What continent are we in?
What continent? Are we not in North America? The scriptures are clear. It's like blatant when you read it. I will bring you from the north country. We're not in the east country. Yeah. They're in the east country.
We're not in the south country.
We're not in the south country or the west country. We're in the north country. We're in North America. Go ahead,
Continuing on, and gathered them from the coast of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, the woman with children, and her that travel with children, together a great company shall return thither.
Yeah, because North America is the greatest country. It's talked about in the scriptures, Babylon the Great.
Yeah, man.
Revelation chapter 18. That's why the Lord mentioned it. Because this is the land where everybody's afraid of. The whole world is afraid of America. They got their military. The Lord is about to shut it down.
That's right, brother.
I just continue on. It says, "They shall come with weeping and with supplication will I lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers of water in the straight way, wherein they shall not stumble. For I am a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn.
You see that? So the Lord is sitting here telling you that these are the things that He's gonna do. Do you think we're gonna be worried about eating? You think we're gonna be worried about troubles when we walking with the Lord by the sides of the river?
Right.
What do you think gonna happen to us? And we in the glory of the Lord. That's not happening over there.
Right.
Not to mention too, just a couple of precepts that I didn't get to before I stepped down. The Lord said, with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm shall I bring you from this captivity.
That's right.
Right? That means that the Lord, He gonna do something fantastic that you cannot deny that it's the Lord doing this.
So the little hats are in captivity?
They're not in captivity.
I've never heard them ever.
They own everything.
What do they say? There's a saying that basically you could tell who
You can't talk about.
who you can't talk about is basically who's in charge.
That's right.
So if you can't talk about them, that means that they're in charge. So are you in captivity? Who are you under captivity to? Who's oppressing you?
Right.
You know what proof to that? You know what proof to that? If you watch any of these like major podcasts or anything that talk about geopolitics or anything, they all use proverbs when they talk about them. They'll never say, they always call, like we say small hats.
Yeah.
Right? They got some people call them boys.
Yeah.
Right? And there's always like a money sign behind it.
Hey, well, Charleston White the other day. And I don't fuck with them fools.
Yup.
Oh, that's a good one right there. Them damn fools. Cold words. Now, when it come to us, nigga, you never heard the word nigga is never. Our proverbs are never muted. Like, hey, you can't say that about us. Yes, we can. Nigga.
We don't give forgive me for my lack of my French or my Dutch or whatever you want to call it, but we don't give a fuck. Okay, we don't care. We're not standing. We're standing before the Lord. Okay, this is the altar of the Lord that we're standing before, and we don't care how y'all feel about it. Okay, because we believe that the Lord gonna protect us, man.
Right.
You got it. I'll hold camera. You got it.
I was trying to get something straight.
I'll bring out this precept while y'all swap it out. This is Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. Because the brother was speaking as to the things that we have signs of who's the people, who's not the people. Well, with this so-called persecution that Esau said he's going through over there in the chosen land, let's see if the Lord lift up a standard.
That's what I said. Exactly. Everything is proven. Everybody has any sense of. But see, a lot of this is not going to be spoken on. You get Joel 3:9. It's just being watched. Because everybody's taking heed to how are they reacting? How are these things being played out? Like how you said that flood that's gonna come is troops. And Israel, the elect, we know it starts with the elect like you read, but really the nation of Israel as a whole, really, because we represent the nation, needs a standard to protect themselves. We don't have a military, we don't have missiles, we don't have a navy. You know what I'm saying? We don't have none of that shit. So we need the Lord to step up and protect us, okay?
Right.
Huh?
We don't even have an economy.
Hey, come on, man.
Money flowing through the nation.
Exactly. As the brother read earlier, we don't have a continual city. All right?
Yep.
You go ahead with that.
Joel, you said 3 and
Yeah, start at 3 and 9.
This is the book of the prophet Joel, the 3rd chapter and the 9th verse. And it reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war.
Yep, see, and that's what we've been even prior to what's going on right now. Our ministry has been about, matter of fact, go to Jeremiah 28:8 real quick. Our ministry has been about what? Proclaiming war amongst the Gentiles. Y'all are going to go to fight. Y'all are going to go to war with each other. All right? And now it's happening. So through the Spirit, we've been proclaiming this for a very long time. Go ahead with that in Jeremiah.
Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me.
Yeah, and where are these little hat prophets at? They're rabbis and teachers and all this shit. But where's the prophets at? If you're going into these books, I'm learning today through brothers. I didn't even know that they dealt with the book of Ezekiel and all these different books. I thought y'all were just strictly the the Torah and the book of the Talmuds and all that shit. I didn't know y'all dealt with Ezekiel, because if that's the case, don't just pick certain little points.
Right.
No, let's deal with Jeremiah. Let's deal with Isaiah. There's a lot of books to deal with that'll prove what we're saying, that you aren't the people.
Then why do they never, with all this
Come on.
theatrics that they have in Hollywood and they're controlling literature, why do they never talk about Edomites? Why? I mean, if you're not Edomites, why aren't you talking about your?
You should be cursing them the hell out.
Who are the Edomites?
Hey, you know what? Your campaign of what you're doing might go a little further if you was to push that bullshit doctrine of what? That the Arabs are Esau, right? Because a lot of Jakes believe that shit. You really see, now we giving them game. You really supposed to be telling these people, hey, really them Hamas, they the Edomites according to the Bible. They don't even want to. Think about that.
Yeah, they could. They
I
really
don't want
could.
niggas know what the fuck an Edomite
You
is.
really should be saying, hey, them Edomites over there, we're gonna fuck them up.
Hey, yo.
And we're gonna bring out scriptures, read it. You can't, because then you're gonna be shown, they be like, wait a minute. Okay, wait, the Arabs say this and this to say that, and you moving a lot of pieces that you don't even want to, like you said, you don't even want to have to explain it. All right, you go ahead with that Jeremiah.
Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me
Yep.
and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries.
Yep, that's what our forefathers that were prophets were doing, because what we're learning in these closing hours of this ministry is that prophets teach other prophets.
That's right.
That's all the elect is. The elect is the prophets, man. All right? So the prophets before us, they were in the same stead dealing with Nineveh and Babylon of old and old country. Yeah, that shit's strong. Keep going.
And before before great countries and great kingdoms of war and of evil and
Evil
of pestilence.
war, evil, and pestilence, man. That's what we're here to tell the people. So that lines directly up with Joel 3:9. We're proclaiming war amongst the Gentiles, man. Get ready. That's right. All right? Get ready for war, all of you. All right? You're gonna die and you're gonna lose, but get ready.
That's right.
Okay? Right. You go back to that, Joel.
This is the book of the prophet Joel, the 3rd chapter, and the continuation of the 9th verse. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up.
And that's what's happening. All the mighty men of these nations. I was watching a video on, like the brother was saying earlier, a reel on YouTube, and I was like, I meant to share it with brothers, where basically over there in India, you got them all, they have a bar. You got to be a certain height to be in their military. So all the men over there, they be shirtless, shoeless, and they go to the bar and they, oh please, and then they might have like a roller coaster ride. They be like, oh come on, please.
That's not how you determine a soldier.
But see, it don't even. Every nation has their own aspect of how they view war.
Yeah.
So again, how they
Because you want size, you
want
doesn't
size
matter on the battlefield. Yeah. Not as much now, but especially in the ancient world. But at the end of the day, the soldiers in the heart. David's an example of that.
Gideon showed up.
But you know what? David wasn't no tiny man either. I mean, he might not have been as big as his
Goliath.
his brothers in Goliath, but in the spirit of it, all nations deal with size. Yeah. Even this American military, at one point you had to be a certain height. To be a fireman, you had to be a certain height.
Yeah.
Police officer, because again, if I'm dealing with a criminal in my house, hey man, I want a 6'8" big black nigga. You know what I mean? I want him to be this big and this wide. Don't send me the fuck you gonna do? I can protect my own self. You gonna send some dyke? Yeah, they're gonna send some short woman.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so it's the same thing in the war. The scriptures is talking about rising up the mighty men, man. All right, you keep going with that.
In continuation, verse 11. Pardon me. Verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords.
Yeah, you see, beat your plowshares into swords. A plowshare is basically an instrument of farming. All right, we're in a time now where, listen, man, the situation calls for all hands on deck. All right, you might have maybe Monday everything was cool. You might have been a farmer or a gardener, or you know what I'm saying, some regular, softer lifestyle type of work. But now that the enemy is invading whatever country you're in, now it's time for you to beat that plowshare into a spear or a sword.
Right, baby.
And that's happening all around the world, man. Because it's a spirit to it. The Gentiles are all these other nations outside of in this capacity. This Gentile is speaking about the other nations. The natural Gentiles, the water, brother. All right? So they're getting ready for war. All right? While everybody in America is getting ready for the Christmas season and sugar cookies and eggnog and lollipops,
Devil-ween.
yep, the other nations are getting ready for war, man.
Yeah, and what is in the scriptures going into the bring forth your mighty man.
Yeah.
When you bring forth your mighty man during the time of war, you bring forth your full arsenal of confidence. Your
Yeah.
arsenal of confidence. Your mighty man. Your greatest mighty man is the greatness, is the strength of your nation, right there. Hey, bring the strength
Bring your
of your
champion.
confidence. Yeah, bring your champion.
Bring your
Bring
champion.
the strength of your confidence. Whatever you rely on, oh, it's man, it's flesh, oh, it's flesh and bones. Hey, bring your greatest confidence. Bring your
And-
mightiest man. I
what,
need that.
And what do you see on television? Do you see them professing any wartime propaganda? No. You hear them talking about the holiday.
Yeah.
You know, things that are not important. While we clearly see and you feel, you can't tell me that you don't feel that something is totally off in this country.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? That means we're about to go to war. This place is about to be invaded heavily.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? But nobody's paying attention to this shit, and I say good.
Good. I'm with it.
I'm with it.
Cause see, the thing about it is for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. See, the Lord's giving you. You only got two options. Hey, you know what? Over there in the land of Israel, you know all the once you turn 18 over there in those Israelis, you got to join the military, right? For I think like 2 or 3 years. Even the women got to join the military over there. You know. So again, it's really the same in the spirit with us as a nation as well too. Listen, you gonna fight in this war. Matter of fact, go to still hold that. Go to 2 Corinthians 10:3, because the Lord has us as Israelite men. We're fighting this war spiritually, but you got to fight. There's no room for you not to fight.
There's different types of warfare.
Yeah.
It's chemical warfare, spiritual warfare, psychological warfare.
See, we're fighting the highest form of the fight. This spiritual warfare is the highest form. And this is the most modernized. See, the Lord actually modernized our warfare. See, the scriptures say I sent forth many fishers. And Jake want to jump straight to the hunting part, get in the streets, getting down with it. Nah, this is the biggest war. Listen, our warrior, if we survive and we make it to the end, right? We endure to the end, the aspect of our warriorhood that's going to be remembered in the kingdom of heaven is us standing here and doing this.
Come
on, man. That living sacrifice. But Jake don't find this. This is not compelling. This is not fun. It
It ain't
isn't.
glamorous enough.
But this is the laborious work that we have to do. All right, go ahead with that.
The trenches.
This is the real trenches, man.
Nobody like being in the trenches. It's cold. It's
But
wet.
you know what though? I'm gonna be honest with you though. Doing this is a lot more rewarding, and two, it's not as hard as doing what Esau wants you to damn do. You know?
Yeah, right.
Like if you think about it, like Esau wants you to go through hell and back. The Lord is saying, "Hey man, go out in the highways and the byways. You're gonna looked upon as fools, but preach the word anyway." You know what I'm saying? Do your videos, read and study. You know, that's
Build
what
yourself
you need
up.
to do.
Be spiritual.
Be spiritual. You know, be brotherly. Be kind to one another. This is what I want y'all to do.
But really, brother, you all right in the spirit. But really, being spiritual is the hardest thing.
You're right though.
Being spiritual
Right.
is way harder than going and do some pull-ups and push-ups and running miles. And you got a bunch of, y'all brothers that's been in the military. It's women in the military. Think about that. There are top-level women in militaries around the world. There's no women. There's no space for women to be any level in this military.
That's right.
That's why we don't have women in the great millstone.
That's
Come
all
on,
it
man.
is. The Lord make it easy for us. That's all.
But we're just built. We're built to do it. But man, come on, man. And we, Lord willingly, the Lord keeps us.
Yeah, we built for this.
Like to hell with what we fought for.
Right.
That we pray that the Spirit, the Lord, continues to allow us to keep fighting.
That's right.
You know, you get that, and then we're gonna go back to that.
2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3, and it says, "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh."
See, in these other nations, they're all warring in the flesh. Yeah. That's what's proven again. Another point, proving that these little hats, y'all ain't the people. That's right. Because see, when some people attacked you, your first your thought is, get carnal with their ass.
Right.
We gonna get carnal with you.
they didn't
Even
turn
the
on
way
you.
they protested throughout the world in America right now. These little hats is meeting up. Here it is. These pro Palestines. They be all the way down here.
Real has combo.
They be like, yeah, we stand with Palestine, free Palestine. The little has to be goddamn in Buckhead. Oh, they down here? Okay, let's go down there. They go to where you are. Oh yeah, well fuck that shit. You get your son out of here, you little piece of shit.
Yeah. They ain't praying for him.
They ain't praying for him. They ain't turning the cheek. They ain't doing none of that. So again,
Nigga said flatten Gaza.
flatten it.
Carpet bomb fucking Gaza. Like, damn.
They said flatten it, man. They're straight about the flesh.
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking, hey, that's too many people. You should say just kill them.
Children,
Yeah.
turn it into a cemetery. Nigga said turn it into a cemetery. Hey, but you know what? The judgment that you judge with is what you shall be judged, that you be met with, man. You're gonna find yourself in your own Esau, he didn't learn from the gallows, man. Like you didn't learn from Haman and his sons. God damn.
Yeah, like, come on, bro.
You're doing it again.
In the same trap.
You are going to fall into your own gallows again, man. You thinking that you're going to exterminate us and exterminate people and all of this and ethically cleanse. You're the one that's about to be ethically cleansed.
Over that 1 and 18, man. That's gonna happen to you.
Go ahead with that.
Verse 3, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to
That's what's
pulling
going
down
to show that
strongholds.
we are the people. Because we don't have any carnal weaponry. You're going to have to lie on us, and you're going to bear false witness against us because you know it.
Yeah.
See, you know we don't got. We are spiritually whooping your ass. We are spiritually doing a number to you. You lose sleep at night behind our words. We're not out here, hey, you know what, brother? We got to put the red wire to the. You got to connect the red wire with the black wire.
We ain't doing it.
You know, this is how you deal with this. If we're gonna build all these pipe, I don't want to say these words, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Right.
We're not fighting that way. All right, and you're gonna see it, man. And that's what's gonna show us as being what the innocent, the blameless. That's what's gonna show that we're the blameless, not you, because y'all are on boats pulling out your iPhones. Yeah, you see all these fucking bombs we got. You niggas are really, y'all are showing yourselves to be the real niggas, man. And then we talk shit about Jake, and Jake always want to pull out the phone. Yeah, you see these guns? That's a Glock 17 with a switch. Y'all are doing the same thing. And you see all these, look at these bombs.
Yeah, you got bombs, you have missiles.
You see these missiles?
another level.
Y'all got chemical warfare.
You see this nigga?
Right.
What's the difference? That's some drill rap, nigga, spirit.
They big one niggas.
He taught it to Jake just only for him to steal it back.
That's it, man. That's why it really, I meditate on the fact that the Lord taking Esau's color, man. It's really a blessing the Lord took his color. Because imagine him doing this shit black as us.
Yeah, we wouldn't even know what.
We wouldn't even know it, man. That'd be the hardest enemy ever, man. Imagine Esau, how he deals, but he got our color and everything.
I got appreciate
That'd be a devil. Oh, that's a devil.
This is the book of Ezekiel, the 25th chapter and the 12th verse. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Verse 13, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom and will cut off man and beast from it. And I will make.
See, y'all supposed to be reading this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Y'all supposed to be reading this on the TV talking
He
about,
was righteous. It says, revenge themselves. Read that back.
Come on. Verse 13, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will also stretch out my hand, on verse 12, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them.
Yeah, so we got to ask the historical question: why is he getting his revenge back? It would either have to be for the promises or during the time of King David and King Solomon, when we was actually pushing Esau off the cliffs and stuff. Esau has those histories, and this is a understanding that we in the truth have as to why Esau so mad at us, and the part of his rage and anger is why he come against us. The scriptures tell us, man. We understand these things, but Jake can't see it like you say. Jake can't see that.
That's why this book is for the prophets and it's by the prophets and for the prophets.
It makes sense that he coming against us like he did,
But
man.
look though, just to, Bobby Rashad, just to expound upon what you're saying, he he is seeking his birthright.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. Because look at what he's doing to the earth. He's actually warping and changing the earth, just like the elect who actually established the earth and built it and created it. You know, and we left our first estate, right?
Yeah,
and we create. He's trying to change the earth to what he envisioned it to be.
that's cool.
You see what I'm saying? That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's trying to genetically modify all the food, genetically modify all the people,
AI.
change the ordinance and stuff, create AI and robots and all that shit. He's doing all that, trying to get his birthright back because he thinks this is his kingdom.
Good.
You know, and it's not his kingdom.
I got to say that his kingdom shall continue forever and ever.
Yeah.
Go back to that Joel.
Come.
Oh, was you done with that or?
I can go back to Joel. This is the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, and in the 10th verse. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears.
Yeah, your pruning hooks, these are all farming instruments, okay? Because that doesn't matter anymore, man. All right? The education systems, all those other elements of the budgets don't matter no more.
Ain't no show.
It's all about war. That's what's about to occur in this place. Because why? It's time, it's prophecy, and really this country is going broke. And war is a major,
Only answer.
it's the only answer to get this economies back going, man. All right? You keep going, brother.
In continuation, and it reads, let the weak say, I am strong.
See? So what we witnessed is over the last maybe 40, 50, 100 years, really since the, really was that Revelation 12, well, yeah, the first woe and the second woe.
yeah.
You know, going from those woes, those first war, World War I and World War II, these other nations were weakened. See, the last time America was great was when America had all the nations around the globe weakened. There was a time where you only could get if you wanted a car, you had to get an American car.
Yeah.
Right? You had to get a Cadillac, a Chevy, or Ford, right? If you wanted a refrigerator, that refrigerator was probably made by a GE or a Whirlpool. Your refrigerator, your washing machine, your TV, everything that was and you were buying were once at one point American made or and bought, because there was no Germany.
Yeah.
There was no Japan. These niggas was still.
They were the other nations who provide these services now. They weren't industrialized.
Right.
Like China was industrialized. Vietnam, Mexico, they were not industrialized, so they couldn't produce final goods.
Yeah, people don't even realize that China was still.
Right.
Man, China was mainly rice farmers and shit like that up until Bill Clinton.
Yeah. America started outsourcing this work and literally became an import country during the 70s. If I remember, one of my history classes or whatever, college, it was literally during the 70s or whatever.
Yeah, but that was the start of it. But really, it peaked with really, it didn't really peak in what you're saying until give or take Bill Clinton, like the early to mid 90s, because that's when you started hearing the term globalization.
Yeah.
You didn't hear the term globalization until that wasn't in the 60s or 70s, and
and then started falling. Really, it was gradual from Abba Bivens. Really, that's when Abba Bivens came on the scene. That's when Pastor Tar goes into. He says, with the Vietnam War, that's when America really started falling, and over time, it's just been getting worse and worse.
it's been getting worse and worse. You know, keep going with it.
This is the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, the 11th verse. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh.
Yeah, they're gathering. You know what we're witnessing these different militaries mobilize. Remember we used to play that game when we was younger. Was that battleship or battle?
Yeah, battleship.
It was a battleship. You put the pieces.
Yeah.
Part of that war or part of that game was what? You put your battleship here, or your air carrier there, or this, that, and the third. Moving pieces around is a major portion of war. So what we're witnessing right now, like I said, I did a lesson about a week or so ago. I said, man, hey, we could be in all-out war come March the 1st, come the top of the year, spring. Because if you do your history with wars, almost all wars on planet Earth have broke out in the spring.
That's why it's called March.
That's why it's called March, the month of Mars.
Yeah,
The weather is formidable to move armies.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Like what we're witnessing now is the rumor aspect. Now they might continue it on and say to hell with this cold weather because it's a new type of war. But in the spirit of it, I wouldn't be surprised if it heats up, then it cools down a little bit, and then give or take February, March area, it pop off.
Yeah, Esau have always had a bad history with cold weather wars. He learned the last great lesson he learned was with Napoleon. Napoleon tried to go into Russia.
Like Hitler. That's the most recent.
Yeah. Right.
See?
But you know, they claim him as a great military mind.
Yeah, they
strategic
say he's the
mind.
greatest.
Yeah, the greatest.
They make
and
the
here
same
it is, this
mistake.
dude, he invaded Russia during the winter, during the same time that Hannibal Barca did it, and we kind of got a little leeway. He got smashed.
Yeah, you don't want to
So
play
Esau
that
really
winter.
he don't deal with winter wars and stuff.
And then you got to remember, like you said, March, Esau still deals with his left-handed witchcraft.
Right,
And the month of
heavy
March
month.
deals with the Roman god Mars, which is a god of war. So like I said, don't be surprised. They could jump, that shit could jump all the way off come the new year. And when I say the new year, I'm talking about the real new year, which is the spring. All right?
And and just to concur, because like November 1st, BRICS currency comes active.
Yeah.
Right? So when BRICS currency comes active November 1st, that's going to drop the dollar, which is going to cause a lot of chaos here in America.
And then a few days after that, build upon it. The government, America's government's going to shut back down around about November the 17th. See, we're back at it again. See, this a place is through.
Yeah,
It's through.
This American system is getting hey, give me the next Friday.
Yeah, it's gonna be a soap opera. The newest soap opera behind that is gonna be when will they get a new speaker, because the government stall out is gonna be
removing him was major.
It's gonna be a big deal that we're gonna every American's gonna be sitting in front of their TV waiting on this, watching it like it's the Super Bowl. Can we pick a new white man? This ain't even the president.
Beautiful. But we already know that it's over with for America. And just, the point that I was making about the BRICS currency is when the currency dies, guess what happens? War. That's war. It's right around the corner. When the currency dies, war is right around the corner. So there's a series of things that may happen up until that. You may have, the fight between the House and the Senate. All hell gonna break loose on the people because they ain't got access. The banks are closing. We already got a list of bank closures throughout the United States. What's happening next week?
Up until in the first part of the year, I think I saw something. 1,100, over almost 1,200 banks have shut down this year up until this point so far. It's like how you said. So it might be come the new currency, November play out, December play out. Because you got to think, this is a big country.
That's right.
It's a lot of, the banking system is huge. All right, you got pension plans, 401s. It's a lot of things that's got to play out there. Like you said, between now, that's literally like 120 days.
Yeah,
that ain't no time.
Ain't no time.
Between now and the spring.
It ain't.
Come on now. All right, you can keep going with that. Man, this thing is going to get hot, man.
Yeah, it is.
This is the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, the continuation. Verse 12. It says, and it reads, verse 12, Joel 3 and 12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Yeah, that's the valley of Jehoshaphat. Is that area over there around your, what is that, your Saudi Arabian area.
Verse 12, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
Yeah, see, the Lord is bringing them all in one area. He's gathering them all in, right? Yeah, you can point to it, brother. He's gathering all these nations in that region. See, right now, this area is hot.
Yeah.
That's the center point. Israel is the center, because technically speaking, Israel is the center of the world.
That's right.
All right, matter of fact, real quick, get that in Galatians 4. The mother of us all, man. Because that area is the center of the world, and look how hot it is right now. All right, all of this North Africa, this is all Arab nations. All of this.
All that's hot.
All of this is Israel. I mean, not Israel. All of this is Islamic. Is the Islamic world. Morocco, Al Jazeera, Libya, Egypt. All of that is the Islamic world. Okay. So imagine what's going to occur when you got this build up between the Jews and Israel and the Islamic world, and then everything's going to build upon that in that land. All right, you got something, bro?
Yeah, this is Galatians chapter 4, verse 26.
Okay, yeah.
But Jerusalem, which is above is free, which is the mother of us all.
And that's why that land is being fought over so greatly right now, because everybody wants a piece of that land. But what's going to happen? The Lord's going to lay it waste, and that's what we're going to in Joel, the 3rd chapter right now.
That land gives you legitimacy.
Oh yeah, that's the most. That land is serious, man.
It is. The same reason why American presidents and judges swear on the Bible. They don't believe in it, but they don't follow it. But swearing on the Bible, it gives off an appearance of legitimacy.
Yeah.
The Bible is legitimate.
Because the Bible is the only living book. It's a living book. Our power is a living power. All right, you keep going with that, brother.
Sir. This is the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, and the 13th verse. And it reads, "Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full.
See,
The
the
fats overflow."
And that fat represents pride, man. All right, the Lord is fattening up these people for that sacrifice. When you, matter of fact, get that at now you don't have to get it, but the Lord said the same thing about that we were talking about it earlier, that sacrifice in Basra. Yep, the Lord is fattening up this heifer. You want to get it? You can get it. Yeah.
This is the book of Isaiah, the 34th chapter, verse 5. "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment."
Another word for it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say to judgment. That's Jehoshaphat means. It means valley of judgment.
Yeah, and we want to bathe to go to like saturated and drenched.
Yep. Verse 6. "The sword of Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahweh had a sacrifice in Bozrah and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea."
A great slaughter in the land of Idumea. All right, that's what's coming. All right, because like we said earlier, really when you deal with this World War III, it's really a Edomite versus Edomite war. All right, that's what it is. It's Satan against Satan.
Yeah.
It's really like, I mean, listen, man, Jacob and Esau is the meat and potatoes of this story. But even in the midst of it, this beast here is an Edomite beast. Ain't no, all of these other nations are all do-boys and little runners of Esau's system.
That's right, yeah.
All right, yeah. The Ethiopians and these other different nations, these Arabs, these East Indians, they're really nobodies at the end of the day. They're like little helpers in it. You know, but they're not the major players in this, okay? Because this beast is going to go and fight against what? Russia in his situation. Which Russia, like we said, even though we talk about what Russia's going to do, man, Russia's still Edomites.
Right.
Okay.
I'm against the old God.
I'm against the old God. Yeah, Ezekiel the 38th chapter. So even though you're set up as a guard for these nations, and you know that this hook and all that, and bringing you back to your strength, it's only to set you up to destroy yourselves.
Yeah.
That's it.
It says, book of Romans, "Even for this cause have I raised thee up." Lord raised Pharaoh to drown that nigga in the Red Sea.
Yeah, come on, man.
You know, he's raising the Russians up to take their ass out too.
That's it, because they're going into slavery too.
Right.
They're still Edomites.
That's right.
A lot of them Russians, you have the Russian Orthodox Jews. There's a lot of little hats over there in that land too. That's probably pulling the strings to whatever.
Yeah, they are.
Okay? You go back to that, Joel.
Con. This is the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, and the 13th verse. "Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great." Verse 14, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. Verse 15, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
Yeah, that's going into, and you can really say that's twofold. That's going into mainly the missiles being shot off, and they're going to darken the sky. You're not going like that scene in 300 where what was that, the Persians shot all them arrows in the sky, and it blackened out the sky.
The Lord's fathership too.
And that's what's going to hit the Lord's fathership, but also that's going into the wisdom of this world.
Right.
This wisdom is of Esau's wisdom, and all of that is about to be cut off, man. Read that again.
Yep. This book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, the 14th verse. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Verse 16. Yahweh also shall roar out of Zion, and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake, but Yahweh will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel.
Yeah, see, these little hats, they're not leaning on the Lord. All right? Where have you once seen anything on these speeches or any of them speak about God
No, they don't
or
even know.
Lord willingly our power will deliver us and keep us safe from our enemies? You know, we pray, we asking you people to pray for us. They ain't doing none of that.
Yeah, I'm talking about his big stick.
Yeah, they're all about their sword. They,
Fucking Iron Dome calling America to come fucking help their ass. You trusting in Egypt.
crazy. You really trusted in Egypt.
American aircraft carriers and shit.
Send more weapons. We need more bullets. What the fuck is wrong with you? See, you're not leaning on the Lord. What is that? Is that Revelation 12?
Yeah,
Armageddon?
verse 7.
Yeah, and see, like our only hope is the Lord. We realize that we are nothing but worms. We are but mere worms, man. We have no defense. All these jakes think, oh, I'm gonna do this if he do that, and I'm gonna do this if he do that. Man, you ain't gonna do nothing, man. Yeah, man, he already shooting prices up through the roof, and you can barely keep up with them. You go into the store, you spending $50 on 2 bags of groceries. The only thing you got was a couple bottles of water, some eggs, and some cheese and stuff, you know. And you ain't doing nothing to Esau, nothing, and the price is still going up. So what you gonna do when he kicking down your damn door? What refuge you gonna have? The Lord, we say the Lord gonna be our refuge, man, because that's all we got is the Lord. But guess what? That's all we need.
It's plenty. It's more.
That's
than
more
enough.
than enough.
It's really more than enough if you're understanding in the spirit, because like the scriptures we're gonna go in. Matter of fact, no, it's Revelation 16.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The Lord be for you, who can be against you?
Okay, yeah.
Who can be against you?
Verse 16.
Yeah.
It's Revelation chapter 16.
Actually, you know what?
Oh, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Let's start at the top.
Okay, Revelation 16, verse 16, verse 1, it's like it. It says, and I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of Yahweh upon the earth.
And that's what the Lord is doing. We're in as the scriptures say, that the love of many shall wax cold, man.
Right.
You know, the Lord is pouring out that spirit of wrath upon the people. That's why, again, you got to be on point out here. All right, people are full of rage and anger.
Right.
You know, we're going into this very cold, depressive season where people are gonna, they're gonna start losing their minds, man. Because see, like we were saying, Esau can't maintain the comforts anymore. That bread and circus don't work no more, man. The bread, we're running, it's getting depleted. The bread ain't fulfilling no more, and the circus is it's very unfulfilling.
Game high.
Hey, come on, man. That's why these sporting events, they gotta churn them out every 3 days, man. Hey, get out there and fight, nigga. Floyd, you better get your ass out here.
Yeah, bring that nigga out of retirement.
Yeah, LeBron over here like, man, I'm ready to retire, nigga. You can't retire right now. You got 5 more years to play. Esau gonna keep him going until the end. All right, because he got to keep that bread and circus going. All right, you keep going, brother.
Play basketball chains. Verse 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Verse 3.
And that's another thing too, brothers, to remember that MOTB, it got to be that has to come to pass before we're going to see this total utter destruction on the planet Earth.
That's right.
All right, they go hand in hand with each other. The MOTB and World War III are really like the peanut butter. It's like peanut butter and jelly together, right? Or hamburger and cheese.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah, it is.
What do you say? Kool-Aid and sugar. Cereal and milk. They go. One has to go. They go together.
Right, baby.
You know. So we as we see this war approaching, understand greatly that MOTB is any day now.
Lord willing, that's why we're not gonna get caught off guard, because we understand that has to happen first. That CHIP has to be made mandatory.
Has to be.
Destroyed.
And if I could say real quick,
Go ahead.
when that BRICS currency comes into fruition and this dollar collapses, yeah, a lot of jakes don't know that the Fed Now app also goes. It just happens to be a coincidence that the Fed Now app also goes live November 1st.
Yeah.
You know, so at the same time,
A few days before the federal government is supposed to shut down.
so as you're losing your money
and you can't have access to dollars no more, they're gonna say, aha, we have this new app. You'll be able to access your money and spend it. Okay, and at first, you're gonna be able to, just like you do right now with your phone, be able to scan and buy stuff and all that. But then they're gonna say, well, you know what? That's not secure enough.
Yeah, man.
Okay, it's not. You can lose your phone. We need it in you. And guess what? The environment is going to be so volatile that they'll be able to say, this is mandatory. You have to have this.
That's why we are in a great season. Like we say all these points, but keep your head on the swivel, man. Hey, man, any day now, it could be a double F. You know what I'm saying? When I say that, I ain't got to say all the way what it is, but
yeah, I know.
A false.
We know.
You know what I'm saying?
Those in the know.
You gotta stay on point because see, that's the perfect, like you say, to add to that. That's the perfect thing to add in there, to add the stress to make you understand, like, we gotta do this. The government shut down, our currency's through. There might not be electricity, the grid might go down. So then they gotta really prove you gotta really prove who you are, man.
Yeah.
It's, what do they say? 7 million illegal immigrants have come into this country, what, this year?
Wow.
Yeah, I think 7 million people have come through these borders.
People are funneling in.
They're funneling, man. They're dropping these heathens in here with no type of, you know, they don't got their paperwork and shit.
A lot of them are Moabites and they're Chinese agents.
Yes, a lot of them are Hamites.
Hamite agents, Arab agents for different prospective countries.
And they got UN cards too.
So what?
They got UN cards.
Yep.
Like they've caught a couple of them off the border, and they've interviewed them.
Yeah.
And they got these little cards that say UN, and they ask them to say, what state are you supposed to go to? And they'll say, I'm supposed to go to Georgia.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to go to
Chicago,
Yeah,
New
they
York,
say that.
yep. So you got to ask yourself, how long, if the UN has sent, give or take, 10,000 people, right? Let's just say it's a low number. Let's just say 50,000. Told them, giving these cards, just go to these cities and go get you a place. Basically, go get you a place.
They give them money.
They're giving them money to go get a place. Sit still, wait for us. We'll call you when we're ready for you, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
How much money you think they're probably funneling through these cards? Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars monthly of. How long you think they just gonna continue to give some dirty,
That's right.
some dirty brown nigga $3,000 a month on a card to go live and eat chicken? They gonna call their ass up. They gonna, you know what I'm saying? They gonna activate them. Hey, come on, nigga, you need it. Meet me here. There's a bag over behind yonder, and go do what the fuck you're supposed to do.
Sleeper agents.
Sleepers.
And all these
Hosts.
people that they brought over here, they hate Americans. Because I believe it was a couple of years ago they did a survey and they were asking the United States military, would you be willing to shoot on American citizens? And 75% of them said, nah, we're not willing to. So what the UN is doing is they're funneling troops into the United States that already hate the United States.
These are probably already, I would bet my money that these are actual UN soldiers. These aren't regular scraggler niggas they just found some scraggler nigga in Liberia and like, hey, you go to America, go to Atlanta. No, these are probably we joke with, like, people say these look like military age men. Man, these are probably top tier level in military men.
A lot of them had experience out in the field. A lot of them were part of ISIL. They was part of different military factions that fought over there in the Middle East in the Syrian war. These guys know what to do. Know what to do with it, man.
One of my favorite shows, Alone, right? Where they drop, people to survive in the woods all by themselves. One series, I might have shared it with brothers. They dropped, one of the guys that went on was a military man. Just to show you that these people that are probably over here, that they're bringing, these aren't even they're not low-level soldiers. You gotta understand a soldier's mind. A soldier works within a platoon. They work, rarely does a soldier work by itself.
No.
Most soldiers are in a platoon, a group, or they work maybe in groups of 5, 10.
Green Berets, Navy SEALs.
That's a group.
It's always group. Always.
So they dropped that soldier off in some woods to survive. Man, he quit on the same day he got dropped off.
Yo, what?
He was a soldier. He was like, man, I can't deal with this shit. He's like, man, I'm out here by myself. It's bears. He said he saw bear shit and gave up the ghost. He was like, man, come get me. He saw bear shit. It was bear shit. He was like, come get me. So like you said, these soldiers, for them to just be like, hey, you by yourself, go to Atlanta. You know what type of soldier you gotta be for them to just be like, I'm gonna get you from Africa or the Middle East. I'm gonna give you a card and a book bag, and I need you to go through Central and South America to work your way to America.
You gotta be trained to do some shit.
And then when you get there, I'm gonna send you Atlanta, you Minnesota. Now you're dealing with different weathers.
They gotta speak English. A lot of them
And they gotta speak English.
different
Like,
terrain.
these are like you said, these are super soldiers, man.
Gotta be.
They might look scrawny and look like regular ass Africans and Arabs, but these are probably super soldiers, man.
I've been here for almost 2 years. I still can't navigate myself down the goddamn street. They in a whole new country. They gotta be over here.
Dealing with the weather.
Yup,
You might have came from a desert-like place, and now your ass is in Buffalo, New York, and shit.
Right.
Right. You gotta deal with the winter. And you're gonna deal, and that's a soldier mind. All right? We can keep going. Where we at? Yeah, go back to that Revelation.
Revelation 16 and 3. Says, and the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. Verse 4. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of the waters say, Thou art righteous, O Lord, which art and was and shalt be, because thou hast judged thus. For they have shed the blood of the saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. And I heard another out of the altar say, Even so, Lord Yahweh Almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. And men were scorched with great heat and
That's that war. Right? That's war. All right, keep going.
and blasphemed the name of Yahweh, which have power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen. You're witnessing that now on earth. People are not repenting. People are going worse. They're waxing worse and worse, as the scriptures say. Keep going.
Verse 10. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain, and blasphemed the heavenly Father of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds.
Yep, keep going.
And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates,
Yep.
and the water thereof was dried up.
And this is going into war. Even the fact that the Lord using the angel of the Lord to dry the river of Euphrates is actually for war to be played out. All right? The river Euphrates, which when you looked it up, if you look it up, the river Euphrates actually starts in Turkey. It starts in Turkey and it flows through, matter of fact, where's the map? Yeah, it flows through Syria. And you got a better,
It's not a real good geography.
it's like on where's Turkey at?
Right here.
Yeah, see, it flows.
Israel right here.
Yeah, because when we were reading,
Syria, Iran.
yeah, because where we were reading, I don't even know if we finished in Joel the 3rd chapter, but basically the hind part goes into matter of fact, if somebody got a better map with the Red Sea.
You got tigers.
The hind part was Saudi Arabia, right?
Right in between. Jordan.
And it's dried up since the ancient world. The river Euphrates in the Hebrew means fruitful.
Yeah.
It's not
See, you got the.
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can hold it for you. Go ahead. You can.
And you
talk
got
about
the, like you said, the what is it? Where's it at? Euphrates River.
it. Yeah.
And you see it flows all the way down. This is the what is that? The Black Sea or the
Well,
Red
no,
Sea?
That's the Persian Gulf, I think.
Yeah, is that the Persian?
That's the Persian Gulf.
Okay, that's the Persian Gulf.
Yeah.
Because when we read in Joel, it goes into it because what's the hind part? The hind part is
Is it Saudi Arabia? The hind part?
if I saw the map, it would be better because
It's a few different.
When it speaks about the hind
different
part.
like parts. So you
Yeah.
got
go ahead and go back to Joel and we'll read it
Yeah,
right
the
along
first
as
part
well.
you got Eden.
That was a good map for those rivers, though.
Yeah, that was actually. But yeah, go back to Joel and we'll read that. That's good.
Parts toward the uttermost sea.
Yeah, there we go.
I know what you're saying. There's hind parts toward the uttermost sea. We're talking about the Red Sea.
There we go. See, there we go, right here. See, we got that's a good map right there.
Yeah.
Because you got the
right here. Oh yeah.
yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Because which one of these? That's the
That's
Tigris.
this the Euphrates.
Yeah,
right
see,
here
that's
at
the
bottom.
Euphrates right there. And it flows right into the Persian Gulf.
Yep.
Because this whole land right here is being prophesied in Joel the 3rd chapter. Matter of fact, go back to it. We'll read it. But the Lord drying up the Euphrates River in Revelation the 16th chapter, that starts at Turkey, which Turkey is a major player in what's going on in the war.
It's Gomer.
Yeah, Gomer.
Gomer, Ezekiel 38.
Yep. You go ahead with that in Joel.
Joel, the 3rd chapter, what verses you want?
When it goes into the behind it.
Around 20.
Yeah.
2 and 20? Oh, the 2nd chapter.
Is it the second chapter?
Yeah, I think it's the second chapter. Like
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter, and the 20th verse. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate.
Yeah, that barren and desolate land, that's this region right here. Yeah, that's this region. So even where we're reading Revelation the 16th chapter, dealing with the Euphrates River, that's a major. The Lord drying this up allows for countries coming from different angles. Remember, war is all about movements of pieces.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why even like if you see this map geographically, that's why Saudi Arabia is dark, because it's barren.
Yeah,
that's why Scripture says the land is barren and desolate, and you see these two different seas right here. So it's going to speak about that in Joel the 2nd chapter and the 20th verse. It says, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea.
Yeah, the East Sea is the Red Sea. Right? That's the East Sea. That's the East, right? No. I'm sorry, the Persian Gulf. Excuse me, I'm looking at it backwards.
Yeah.
The Persian Gulf.
The uttermost sea is the Red Sea.
In the uttermost part is the Red Sea.
Right.
Okay, which sits between this barren place.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
In continuation, it says in verse 20, it says with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things.
Yeah, that's going into that valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, where the nation shall be judged. So again, like we said, when you look at the Euphrates River, that starts up there. It starts really in the region of Turkey. Yeah, Mount Ararat. That's Turkey. All right. Now we can go back to that Revelation. Yeah, that Noah landed the ark.
Right.
This is another one too.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
So back in Revelation chapter 16
And the uttermost part
and
the barren land.
Yep. That's part of that land.
verse
man.
9. And men were scorched with great heat and blasting from the Lord.
Yeah, I think you a little bit further down.
Verse 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up.
And if you pull up an image of the river Euphrates when it's been dried up, they've seen satellite pictures. There's actually a part of it that creates a omega sign.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wow.
It's an omega sign in the river where it's dried up at, which what does that represent?
right.
The end. The end. Omega sign, alpha and omega. Yep, go ahead.
It says that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared.
Yeah, the kings of the east might be prepared. Go ahead.
And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon and out of the mouth of the beast.
Yeah, this is going into the 3 city states of Esau's world.
London, Washington, D.C.,
Yeah, and the Vatican.
And Rome.
Rome.
Vatican.
The Vatican.
Yeah, you see the
Got it good on the camera?
omega?
Yeah. The Omega. Yeah, you got it.
You see?
That's a good sound right there.
That's a sign. That's a sign.
It's a sign.
That's a sign. Like, come on, man. All right. So again, these three unclean spirits are actually how Esau is fighting his war. You got the financial war, like the brother said. That's the financial aspect. The financial side of things. That's a war. You have a war of currency wars. Okay. Then you have the what's the other? The military side, which, like the brother said, going into EC, which is the military side of this beast system. And then you have London, which is the financial, and then you have Vatican, which is the religious aspect. And what are we witnessing now? We're actually witnessing a war, a holy war. It's a holy war. And it wasn't, and you could probably look it up, you don't have to, but it was a couple years ago, you had the religious leader of the Islamic world and the Pope. They sat down and they were trying to make peace with each other. Okay? Because why? Listen, you can't have a kingdom if you don't have these three things. You gotta have all three of these. You gotta have the religious side, you gotta have the military side, and you gotta have money. If you don't have any of those three, you're not really you're really not a kingdom.
No, it's true.
You can't rule people without religion, having control of the finances, and having a strong military.
Right.
You can't. Oh, there's a game I play called Total War, right? And you have to have all three of those things within balance. If you don't, people start rioting, and other people start invading you. If you don't have all three things,
Well, look at the Edomite system.
that's
The Edomite system is failing because all three are out of balance right now. Okay? Keep going.
Verse 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon
That's right.
and out of the mouth of the beast.
Yeah, the dragon, the Roman Empire, because these three city-states are actually they're the stronghold of the Roman Empire. We're in the last leg of the Roman Empire, Revelation 13:3. Go ahead.
And out of the mouth of the false prophet, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto
Oh, is not money becoming digital a work of a miracle? That's a miracle.
Absolutely.
That's a real deal miracle to be able to see. Think about how money has evolved over the years. Where now we're about to be in a system that's going to say, oh, phone why they have phones. Hey,
Yup, exactly.
Or pay with your palm at Whole Foods.
You know, Jake just don't see it for what it is because Jake has been desensitized to everything. So you don't understand that this digital, it went from you having to walk around with a bag of gold on you to now you got paper currency, to now it's credit cards, now it's digital.
Checks at one point.
Checks, yeah. And you don't think about, well, how simple it has become to make a transaction.
Right. Like I got stranded out in North Carolina, right? And I ain't had no cash on me. And all I had to do was, call a brother, call my mom's, call my
transfer.
Hey, y'all cash out, you know what I'm saying? Boom, right there. I have
remember, but
within seconds.
But you know what? If you're about our age, if you was or a little bit older, I say not a little bit. It used to be a time where if you needed some money from somebody, you had to actually go to a Western Union.
Yeah, Western Union, yeah.
And that was considered a miracle because it's
Right, exactly. You get out of a Western Union, but look where we are now. We're in a time now of, like you said, waving the hand. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I was going to say, brother said waving the hand was the charagma, the device, the charagma that Esau has instituted. With those devices, miracles. You can actually, people that are paraplegic, people who are blind, some people who are paralyzed, it's giving them actual capabilities to use their nerves and to use their limbs. That's what that charagma device. That's a big part of the miracle. And you're going to be able to pay through that device, and people are going to be able to use that in the medical field.
Yeah, the religious aspect is working miracles. That's why the scriptures say in the book of Matthew, the Lord said, beware of false prophets. Working miracles.
Right.
So we're going to see deceptiveness from all three. The military is going to be, the military is working very covert and overt deceptive missions right now. We're seeing, when you see these nukes and what they're going to do, matter of fact, that's a miracle.
Right.
Seeing a nuke, what it's going to do to these countries, that's like the damage and the changes of war in that aspect. That's a miracle.
That's Revelation the 13th chapter. If I can get that for you.
Go ahead.
That's what he's going into is in found in Revelation the 13th chapter. Let's see here, the 12th verse. It says, and he exercised of all the power of the first beast before him, which that he is essentially the revival of the Roman Empire, which the first beast was the Roman Empire. Right. It says, which is America, NATO, EU. It says, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders. So that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of man.
There we go, man.
One of those nukes, bombs. So
that's a miracle, man.
You couldn't do that before.
Yeah, because at one point, for thousands of years, wars were fought with, cannons and catapults. Swords, yeah. Like this war, see, that's another thing. People got to update their, matter of fact, get that in Isaiah.
Yeah, I got it.
You already got to go ahead and bring it out.
This Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise.
Yeah, see, everybody has this idea. Even when we talk about World War III, this idea, this war, it ain't, man, listen, man. This isn't some Persian, Medo-Persian, Roman, Greek-Roman Empire war, man.
Right.
You're just gonna send a million people on that side and a million people on this side. Charge!
Right.
You know, you watch the Mummy and all that. And they on horses.
Shields, javelins.
It ain't about to be like that, man. This war is about to be fought with Xbox controllers, man.
Right.
Go ahead with it.
Literally. I reread it. This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments robed in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Yeah, see, it used to be a time where you would have to gird up your loins.
Yeah.
You know, we would wear these, and you would tuck it and tie it so you would be able to run, and you wouldn't have, you know, you
Right.
you wouldn't have to deal with that.
cut.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you had to tie it up a certain way so you could run, you know, and fight. You know, but like I said, this new war, man, it ain't gonna be fought with swords and fist fighting and shit like that. This is gonna be a fuel and burning of war.
That's through missiles.
Technology. Ice again.
And that reason is why these other countries say they're strengthening themselves. What we read in Joel, the 3rd chapter. The reason why they feel so strengthened is because they have nuclear and they have missile capabilities.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, from the weakest to the strongest, everybody is. This is leveled the playing field.
That's right.
Yes, sir. All right. So we can go back to that Revelation 16 and read a little bit more, and then we'll close up.
Revelation 16, verse 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world.
Yeah, that's why these other nations are deceived by this Edomite miracles. That's why Ammon, Moab, Elam, Ishmael, they all want a part of it because, yo, this is a miracle. It's like, yo, what the fuck? This nigga got, he got military weapons that can just fly around the world in 10 minutes. Yo, we got to get down with that. That's what that is. Keep going.
It says to gather them to the battle of that great day of God, of Yahweh Almighty.
Yeah, that Yahweh Shabbat. That ties right in with Joel, the 3rd chapter, Joel, the 2nd chapter, dealing with World War III. World War III is really the Yahweh Shabbat's judgment.
Armageddon.
It's Armageddon, which we're going into. Yeah, keep going.
Verse 15. Behold, I come. This is Yahweh Shai speaking. It's in red letters. It says, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked.
Yeah, so you got to keep this understanding, man.
Right.
Because even though we talk about these miracles, the scriptures say that though it be possible, even the very elect would be deceived. So you got to be mindful of these miracles that this devil's going to work. Because if you're being simple, if you're not being circumspect, you're gonna fall victim to it.
That's true.
This devil ain't about to come with no type of weak. Listen, these are major. This isn't a sleight of hand, you know. Oh shit, where does thumb go?
Hey, and if I can say too, he said, I come as a thief. You don't expect the thief to come in.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So when Yahweh Shai come, it's gonna be like, all right, I'm here. What you doing?
Oh shit.
What you been doing? You know what I'm saying? That's why it says, I come as a thief. Blessed is those that keep his garments. It's up to you to dig into this truth and dig into this word and keep this thing strong. It's up to you to do that. You know what I'm saying?
They say if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Exactly.
Right, baby. You know, that's why when we're in the spirit of the Passover, the Passover calls for us to do what? To what? You keep your garment on. You be booted up. Have your staff. You know, you're with haste. You're on the ready. So that's the spirit that we stay in. You know what I mean? We're always on the ready. You know, not to say that you just, you know, you're always sitting by your bedroom window and boots strapped up all day, every day. I'm not saying that, but in the spirit, you want to make sure, you are on point. You know? You got something, bro?
Okay, I got something for you, bro. This is Luke chapter 18, verse 6. And the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge saith. And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? Verse 8 is the point. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?
Amen. Because this is about to try our faiths in ways that only it's not going to be a question. Either you are the elect or you aren't.
Well, you aren't, yeah.
Either you pass the test or you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really just that simple.
Ain't no extra.
And we pray that we all continue. That's why we're doing what we're doing right now. You know, we're preparing for this time by doing this. This is how you build your faith up. All right? You got something?
This is the book of St. Mark, the 13th chapter, and the 19th verse and the 20th verse. And it reads, "For in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation which God created unto this time, neither shall be." Verse 20, "And except that those days, and except that the Lord had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved. But for the elect's sake, whom he hath chosen, he hath shortened the days."
And the Lord has shortened the days, man. That's why we're already at shit, man. The year's over with.
It's over, bro. It's over.
And it felt like it just started. It felt like we just had the Passover.
Think about 2020.
Man, come on. Think about it. We're like we're almost 4 years removed from 2020.
Right.
Matter of fact, the top of the year will make 4 years since the pandemic started.
Right.
Think about how much. That's how much time has gone by that fast, man. All right, you got something, bro?
Yeah, I got something real quick. This is Luke 18:7, and it says, "And shall not Yahweh avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily."
Yeah, we just read that.
That was a spirit.
Spirit, yeah, keep going. Keep going, that's a spirit.
"Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?"
So the Lord wants us to hear that. We got to make sure that we maintain our faith. Hold fast to that which thou have. You got to hold fast. Because the Lord's going to try, like you said earlier, brother made a great point about we're about to go and what we're looking to receive from the Lord is the greatest gift that any man could ever receive.
Yeah, right.
Not even, like, it's the salvation of the simple fact of getting saved out of destruction.
Right.
First and foremost. But
Right.
then if you're saved, you're part of the elect, which is actually the ruling class of the world, of the universe, of all nations and everything. Like we're fighting for positioning. That's you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you gotta make sure the Lord ain't just gonna, it ain't gonna be no cakewalk, man. You gotta prove yourself. All of us, including myself. So we gotta make sure that we keep our faith, all right? So read a few more verses in that Revelation, then we're gonna close out.
Revelation 16:15. "Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
Yeah, man. Keep going.
And he gathered them together into a place called, in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon, which is Armageddon.
Armageddon, which is in the Hebrew is the Mount of Troops. All right, that's what that area is. That area we went into in Joel the 3rd chapter, Joel the 2nd chapter. That's that area of Armageddon. All right, Armageddon don't got nothing to do with Bruce Willis and a missile, meteorite coming from outer space and hitting the earth.
It's not it.
It's not it. Okay, Armageddon is literally the mountain of troops. All right, keep going.
And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, "It is done."
Keep going.
And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth.
That's the missiles. That's that earth shaking to and fro, man.
Isaiah 24.
That's it. Come on now. That's why the Lord said it is done, because once we see all these nations gather in that land, conflict's gonna break out. They're gonna fight. Then Yahweh Shai is gonna come, which is gonna go. We don't gotta get, because we got to close up. But Revelation, the 12th chapter, 12 and 6, 12 and 7 goes into, and then his angels made war with Michael and his angels.
Second Ezra 13.
Second Ezra 13. All of these precepts go hand in hand with each other, because that's what's going to ultimately happen. When that war breaks out in that land, they're gonna have to do what Reagan said. Was that Reagan that said that, or was that Kennedy? That was Reagan that said that basically if a outside enemy comes out, that we got to turn
Unity.
become unified, and that's what's going to happen. They're going to unify and have to fight Yahweh Shai and the holy angels in those chariots, and they're going to lose terribly, as the brother said. The Lord's going to turn them into dust. It's not even going to be a real fight.
Like the scripture going to, they're going to be so afraid. There's fight.
There's fight. The Lord gonna make them fight, man. Because who was it that said that earlier? You said that earlier. You said, oh, you want to fight? You like violence? You like war? Okay, come fight me. Oh, no, that's not what we meant. We meant fighting down here. No, you want to fight them? Them my people. Fight me.
Yeah, want to be the bully on the earth.
You want to be a bully? Come fight us.
Hey, the Lord gonna come through like that too.
Oh, and then too, the Lord is allowing them to develop all your technology and weapons and things. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna throw you some bones here. I'm gonna put the spirit on you. I'm gonna put the spirit on you.
I'm gonna put a good spirit on Oppenheimer and Albert Einstein to create the nuclear, to find out nuclear fusion and fission. All right, and then that was the bone he gave him. He was sleeping, and the scriptures say in the sleep of men, the angels. Yeah, right. X squared plus y squared equals z squared. Like, oh shit, we can take this formula. We got a thermonuclear bomb.
Ezekiel 21.
It was given to you. All right. Hey, so with that, we could go ahead and close up there. That was pretty much it. Was any more to it? If not, we go ahead and finish off. We got like a few more minutes, so we finish off.
Cut. Only 3 more verses.
Yeah, we finish off.
And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as not since men were upon the earth.
What does that mean? That's literally letting you know that's thermonuclear missiles, because there have been earthquakes. As we speak right now, there's an earthquake happening somewhere on the earth. But the scriptures is letting us know this earthquake's different.
Right, yeah.
Because the scriptures let us know in the book of Revelation that this earthquake that would destroy the 10th part of men, or divided the earth, divided this land up. This earth is not talking about plate sliding and shit. Tectonic plate slide. That's not what it's talking about. That's talking about ICBM missiles raining down and hitting the earth, man.
That's what's gonna make the earth rock to and fro.
Right.
Like a drunk.
It's the same thing that took place during the time of the flood. And we're the only one that gives an explanation for how Pangea. Have y'all noticed that?
Yeah, we're the only one.
We're the only one on the earth that gives an explanation for why the earth is not in Pangea now. But if you go into the book of Genesis, the flood broke up the earth, man.
Yeah, you take goddamn
right.
millions of years.
Yeah, and so what's going to happen?
It's gonna be worse.
Right, it's going to be done through thermonuclear missiles.
Yeah, because when this thing is done, man, it ain't just gonna be simply like, wow, we're building up heaven, the kingdom of heaven, and it's like, yeah, that's South America, that's Central America, that's North America, that's Europe. This shit gonna change up in ways, man. These missiles, you gotta think, man, like you said, 200 million missiles is on its way, man.
It's gonna drown out islands, a lot of islands and coastlines. They're gonna become Atlantis.
Yep, then America has missiles as well. You're gonna be shot off from this side of the earth.
Yeah, we're not even hit other parts of the earth.
We're not even talking about the geological reactions that are going to happen because of the missiles, like Yellowstone.
Eruptions. Volcanic eruptions. Tsunamis.
Pangea after the nuclear weapon.
You're right. That might put it back together.
Damn, whoop this shit up so bad, all the other countries come together and it just be Babylon the Great. That'd be crazy too. But we do know that when the earth is going to grow, because this nuclear holocaust is going to be like
it's refreshing.
Like when you put the person be dead and you clear.
A defibrillator.
It's going to really like bring back the earth to life, because the earth is dying right now.
You got to burn off a lot of that plastic. Esau created all this damn bullshit.
Forever chemicals and plastic, microplastics.
You got to destroy that.
And not to mention too, like they said in like Chernobyl, when all of the nuclear mess fizzled out, the land started to come back
like a wonderland.
They started to grow back faster.
But yeah, that was it, brother. Was that it on that?
It says, so mighty an earthquake and so great, and the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before Yahweh to give unto her the cup of the wine and the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and mountains were not found.
Ooh, see? And the Lord about to change, man. This ain't gonna be the same map.
Right.
The Lord's about to change this thing up in a way, man, through the devastation and destruction, man.
Right.
Esau has done a lot of things where he's created land masses and coastal lines, like you said, that are not natural.
And shit.
A lot of this stuff's not natural and not really of the Lord's original plan, man.
Bad for the environment.
Yeah, man. The Lord's changing all of it up, man. All right, go ahead.
Verse 21, it's the last verse. And there fell upon men a great hail of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent, and men blaspheme Yahweh because of the plague of the hell.
Yeah, that's like remember in the movie Don't Look Up?
Yeah.
You had that Edomite at the end of the movie, and he had his gun, and he was like, You gonna have people, you gonna have Israelites, you gonna have people like that, man. They're gonna see it, and they're not gonna be like in the spirit of us, like, oh, praise Yahweh,
Right.
please have mercy and forgive us.
Right.
We know we deserve. They're not gonna be like, hey, you know what, man? What kind of devil would do this?
Right.
Demon-like power, man.
That's what the scriptures are telling us.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why they're gonna die.
And that's why the scriptures say, pray not for these people, man. Because the Lord has given our people plenty of room to repent. So at the very last moment, when it's raining down these missiles, the Lord ain't trying to hear that shit. The Lord gonna be in that fire, cursing you the hell out. The Lord came, and Lord is coming to see, at that point, the Lord came to see you.
Yeah, right.
It says the Lord will come with fire.
Yeah.
It says,
Go ahead.
it says, for the plague thereof was exceeding great.
Yeah, see, and that's that missiles. The missiles is a major plague that's gonna hit this place, man.
Zechariah 14:12.
See? So that's it, brothers. Let's go ahead. We can close it up here. We pray this was edifying, and we want to give all the glory and honor to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Yahushua.
Hey, double honors unto our apostles and elders. Until next time, shalom.
Shalom.
And
Bible ball.